lifestyle. Sports cards and we live now. Jeremy Lee in the building and every guest that you ever needed. Sports cards after hours keep the hobby heated. Updates, hobby talk like you never seen it. Sports cards live and none could ever beat it. Sports cards is a lifestyle. Sports cards and we live now. Welcome to another episode of Sports Cards Live with your host, Jeremy Lee.
Well, all right, here we go again. Welcome, everybody, to the PWCC Premier Auction Extended Bidding Watch Party. It is Thursday night, October the 19th, 2023. My name is still Jeremy Lee. I want to let everybody know on Sunday, I'll be back with Josh Madigan of the Hockey Cards Gong Show to cover the PWCC Weekly Hockey Auction. Want to shout out my co-host, Adam Gray, editor-in-chief of the Basketball Card Fanatic magazine. Go to bcfmag.com if you haven't yet and subscribe to what is the nicest magazine in the sports card realm, the whole sports card universe. That's the one you want to be subscribed to, Basketball Card Fanatic. Just found out Karn Rai, our special guest, he's actually not able to join us tonight. So you got me and Adam for the duration, but we're excited to get this going. As always, thank you all, subscribers, podcast listeners, viewers, and if you're not yet, subscribe to the YouTube channel, subscribe to the podcast, or subscribe to the Basketball Card Fanatic magazine. Please take a moment and do so. And with that, let's bring him out. There he is. You know him. You love him. Mr. Adam Gray. Adam, big night tonight. How are you?
I love the intro, man. I love the enthusiasm. It's a great night. It's the best night of the month. And I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm good. This is, you don't know this for sure, but this is definitely our 30th episode of the PWCC Premiere. I was doing a little audit on the amount of episodes we've done. This is episode 30 of the Premiere. So nice milestone for us. High five.
I always get that mirror thing mixed up. I know I shouldn't do it, but then I did it anyways. So
we have 124 lots in the Premier Auction tonight. Contrast that to last month, 104, so about 20% bigger, and so many amazing pieces, Adam, as you are well aware. Extended bidding starts, everybody, in 27 minutes at 7 p.m. Pacific. Extended bidding is all access. You do not have to have a bid in first, but make sure you know what you're interested in and review all 124 items if you haven't yet to see what you would like to get in on the action for. Tons of items. Hobby champs, I wish I could afford cards from this show. Yeah, you're not alone. This is the Premier Auction. You know, I've seen some content or some Instagram posts today saying that there's very little content on the cards. And I'm like, you know, it's not the fact. That's not the case. There's well, I won't say there's lots, but this show, while we are talking about the cards, what they're selling for, we are talking about the cards. We are providing information, analysis, inspection. We are talking, it is about the cards. It just so happens that it's in the platform during the Premier Auction on the PWCC platform, but we are talking about the cards. It's what we love to do. Adam does a great job on it, on his reels on Instagram. Be sure to check those out as well. Jake Dahl, what is going on? Diamond card collector. Hope all is well with you too. Everybody, if you have any items that you are selling, any items that you are bidding on, you'd like us to look at them, please feel free to put it in the chat. We will do our best to get to them. But Adam, as I mentioned, there are 124 items. And what I've done tonight is I've opened up a separate page for each of the 6 pages of the auction. So we're going to be able to keep them where they are and not worry about them disappearing on us. The last page only has 4 items. Oh, and look, bids coming in on these 2 right here. This Giannis Green Prism rookie just got a bid, as did the Luka Opulence Platinum 1 of 1 just got a bid up to 13,500. So we can actually bounce around a little bit, Adam, tonight if we choose. We'll see how we do it. CC, good evening to you. Thank you for joining. And Hobby Champ says that's why these shows are great. I'll tell anyone to watch these just for the discussion.
For sure.
Cards at the very least. And yeah, Hobby Champs, thank you. That's what we're striving to do here is, you know, provide information, thoughts, opinions, analysis, or if we're just going to riff on these cards. Adam sometimes Adam can riff on some of these cards, and it's like, you know, a textbook worth of information. So, Adam, what do you think? What do you want to say about all that?
Well, I do want to say I saw that same post that you're talking about, and I agree with the spirit behind the post. There's a lot of content that is short-term based, and it's about valuation, and it's about, I mean, there's like a lot of what's out there that you can spend your time doing in sports cards is based on the numbers, and that's what a lot of people want to see. But it's not what everybody wants to see. And frankly, I kind of like that there aren't as many of people like you and me, Jeremy, that are just that we really just talk about cards for the most part. This show tonight, we will maybe cover a few other little topics sometimes, but you know, those three things you got up right there, we could spend the next hour talking about those three items. And that's true of every group of three items in this auction. The cards and the passion for the cards is, for me, what is most interesting about the hobby. It's where I've decided to sort of, you know, put my stake in the sand and say, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to talk about cards. And that's one of the reasons I love doing the show with you so much, man, is we're going to dive deep on all of these and have a lot of fun doing it. And there's some guys in here right now I know that are bidding on some big cards tonight. And I love hearing their perspectives on the cards as well, because this is how we learn, by coming together and saying, here's what I think. And the best part, Jeremy, is reasonable people can disagree. Is you and I, you know, between the two of us, we've got something like 75 or 80 years in the hobby. It's pretty incredible. And we disagree with each other all the time on things. And it's still wonderful that we do, because reasonable people can disagree.
We do disagree. I don't know if we disagree every show. I don't know if we've had 30 disagreements, but we certainly do disagree. Yet we never get hung up on it. It's not like we have to go discuss it. We understand that we both have our different experiences, our different tastes in the hobby. That's the beautiful thing about it. And when it comes to and I do agree with you. I agree with this. I agree somewhat with the spirit of the post, except that there's more content out there than some people are aware of. And there is a lot of card content out there. You just have to follow the right people, subscribe to the right YouTube channels if you want to find it. Listen to the right podcast. There is a lot of that out there. So I just don't want to see everybody who sees some of that to think, oh, there's no card content out there. There is card content out there. You just have to know where to look in order to find it.
Hey, I got to jump in and tell you the comment here by Collectors Canada, where he says, I hope you're ready for some would you rathers. We've had some would you rathers in the last couple of episodes that have really gotten us going, where we've almost derailed the whole show with them. But I love the conversation. I love the questions that are asked. Brent's in here. He's saying, he's talking about nobody bidding on the black label trout because he's not a guy who likes to bid on items based on the grade. And that's one I'm typically the same, but that's one that I would push a little bit on, because it's how many of those have been graded, and the fact that there's only one black label. I do think that's super significant. I do, even though I'm not a grade guy and I don't have a single card in my collection that's about the grade. I get that. It makes sense to me. And so please send us thoughts, questions, talking points, and would you rathers, and Jeremy and I will eat that stuff up. We love that stuff.
We'll eat it up. We'll throw a few lefts, a few rights at each other through the screen as we no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding, of course. The nice thing about this show is that, if you're, I think about card content, and it can be challenging sometimes to plan it, because you can only talk about your favorite cards so many times. The nice thing about this show is that every month, for the most part, there are repeated cards every month, and sometimes months skip, but for the most part, PWCC is serving up a new grouping of cards every Premier Auction. The Bond Bread Jackie Robinson. I mean, I don't know that we've ever talked about this one, and there's two of these in the auction tonight. So we'll get to that. And as we're in the preliminary portion of the show here, and I do notice someone was talking about, so I'm just scrolling through just to keep the eye candy coming, a bit of a preview as to what is on the slate for tonight. But as we're just sort of chatting, I do want to go to a couple more comments, because we've had several come in here, and I want to thank everybody definitely for that. So Jake Dahl, yeah, the Hank Aaron 54 tops 8.5, a beautiful card. Brent, welcome. I have to say this is one of the more boring premieres. Is Golden winning lately? I doubt it. I'm certainly hearing not messaging that is inconsistent with that. Collectors Canada, yeah. Would you rather's Hobby Champs, 2 PWCC specific questions. Now that PWCC is under different ownership, will they try to get back on eBay? Great question to ask them. I don't know. I mean, it's an interesting question. I have no idea. Also, are there talks to get tag slabs on their platform? I mean, yes, there are definitely talks. You can bet that I've raised the issue a couple of times. And I think it's just a matter of time for that to happen. There will be, as far as tag goes, there is a pretty significant announcement coming out on October 26th for a new platform. Not a new platform, but an existing platform that will be adding tag to their supported graded cards. I'm very excited about that. CC, thank you. CC, as you scroll through the items, I noticed some items don't have a bid option. Must be your card. There are 2 of my cards in the auction tonight. Good eye, CC. Good eye right there. I do have 2 cards in the auction tonight. Deep Value, I post a lot of card content that has nothing to do with hobby drama. Mike Double V, what's going on? Who cares the grade of the card if there's a more rare or scarce parallel? For vintage, it matters because grade is all there is. That's kind of true. The whole that brings into mind the whole rainbow concept. You know, people love to collect their rainbows. That's it's an interesting. It's just the way it is and has been for years now. Collectors Canada, the last premiere was a little weak. This one is absolutely loaded. Yeah. And speaking of loaded, you know, I also do the hockey show on Sundays with Josh Madigan from the Hockey Cards Gong Show podcast, and I looked today at Sunday's hockey auction. It is absolutely stacked, vintage to modern. Oh boy, I don't know how we're going to cover it all. Rage, what's going on? Good to have you. Good to have you. Thank you, Brent. TCH, howdy. Good to have you here. Oh, it's Rage's birthday. Happy birthday, Jake Dahl.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Thanks, Adam. Jake Dahl calls out the limited logos. Michael Jordan is a beauty for sure. For sure. Brent says tag should absolutely be on the platform. Absolutely. And Brent says, I confirm PWCC back to the 2K minimum for cards, no matter the sales price. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't know about that for sure. But actually, I know for sure that's not 100% the case. Diamond Card Collector, another champ ticket. They're there every month. We see a championship ticket for sure. Hobby Champs, check them out. You're gonna like them. All right, Rage. Yeah, happy birthday to you. Well, Adam, what do you think? You wanna just kind of start at the top of page 1 here and run through and throw a few words out above them, a few words out on some of these things.
I love starting at the top. In some months we've had enough, or so a few enough cards that we've been able to sort of talk about every one in great detail. I know we probably can't do that tonight because there's quite a few more. But especially here at the top, we should make sure that we really hit a few of these cards, I think.
Well, why don't you talk about this Kobe Bryant? This appears to be an oversized SI for kids card. Is this not your standard 2.5 by 3.5 inch card? You can tell from the slab, whenever you see sort of spaces on either side of the label, you can tell that you've got an oversized card. So what do you know about this piece?
So I did one of my reels for this card, and I don't know if you saw it. I'm sure some of the people in the chat saw it, but whenever I do that, I get to do a real deep dive. So I can tell you just about anything you want to know about this card. It came out in the February 1997 issue of SI. And so it is from his rookie year, but that's interesting because it says 97 at the top. And we know most of his rookie cards say 96. The fact is this card is actually older than quite a few of his rookie cards. But your point about it being oversized is really interesting. It's one of the first things that I noticed. If you've seen an SI magazine, Jeremy, you know how it usually comes kind of like BCF does when we do the cards, 3x3x3x3. This one was a little bit different because they did a panel that was in the magazine that had 4 rookies in it. And the 4 rookie choices are really interesting. Allen Iverson, the number 1 pick. Marcus Camby, the number 2 pick. Kerry Kittles, who I think was like number 8. And then Kobe is number 13. It was almost like they were creating this thing that SI didn't usually do, so that they could have a chance to put his card in the magazine. And you've just highlighted really the lead that I've buried here, which is that there's only one of this card in a PSA 10 grade. Some people don't like to collect that way, but I'm going to tell you, a lot of people love to collect that way. They want to have the best version of each rookie card. Well, if you want to have the highest graded version of every Kobe Bryant rookie card, there's only one of this one. And so that's why I think it gets this spot high in the auction. It's sitting at a very low number. I think it sold once before for a really big number, Jeremy. I could be wrong about that, but I seem to remember that. So if anybody has a chance to go look and see if they can find what it sold for previously, please do. It's not a card that you just want the super rarest version of something that you go after, but if you want the highest grade of something, again, you've only got one shot. There's only one of these.
It's a cool card. Just keep in mind it is bigger than your standard card. Let's keep on going. We've got this is an NBA Silver Diamond Michael Jordan 86 Fleer PSA 10 exceptional eye appeal from PWCC sitting at 160,000, and then the Hank Aaron PSA 8.5 beautiful. Look at the color. Look at that orange. Look at the ball cap. His face. Everything is just popping. What a gorgeous copy that is. Champ ticket, Tom Brady. We're no stranger to this card. The 1958 Pelé, the Americana Football PSA 6.5 at 27,500. It's a smaller card, like the size of a postage stamp, a little bit bigger, I suppose. Really, really cool card. And then a vertical patch platinum Luka from Flawless 1 of 1. Adam, this is 2018 rookie.
Yep.
This seems like a really special card to me. Where does this rank in your opinion compared to other, rare low print run Luka rookie cards, rookie year cards?
Yeah, that's really the question. And the community has been all over the map with this question. You and I have talked about this ad nauseum. It's like, would you rather have this or a National Treasures, which is a better known card? It's not game used, and there's way more of them. This card is also really pretty, right? It's that I know you love the vertical Flawless. I know you do. We've talked about this a million times. Like the vertical look, full image of Luka, like floating in midair, 1 of 1. The platinum foil patch is game used. On card auto, like it's basically in a lot of ways it's like the perfect rookie card. The only thing that I could say about it that would be at all negative is it's released so late in the year. Some people don't think about it as much, but I think you'll agree with me on this. As the years pass, nobody cares about that.
No,
right?
Exactly.
Like, nobody cares. So would I rather buy this card or National Treasures? You know my answer. It's this all day long. But it's sitting at a number that, look, that's a lot of money. It's 84 grand out the door, but compared to where it was a little while ago, Jeremy, it's just
I think it's really, really nice. Not my chair. Welcome says that Kaboom is awesome, but how do these new guys bring the numbers of the players that have proved themselves? Yeah, it's people love the future. People love the future. Lashwine in the house. What is going on? Diamond Dog Sports. Hello, sports card investors. Piccolina the Cat likes the 33 Gaudi. Almost never sees any on the PWCC platform. I think that we have at least one tonight, I believe. Thanks for joining us, Piccolina the Cat. The D-backs are doing all right. Welcome to the show, Diamond Dogs again. We got Rob Gerard, the sports card therapist. He's here strictly for the cards. Good to see you as always, Rob. Thank you for joining. Jay-Z in the house. What's going on? Wishing good luck to everyone who is bidding tonight. Joe Ruloba, good evening to you. Good evening to you. Rob says there are so many Luka rookies, but this one feels special. The vertical Flawless is incredible. Flawless is continuing to close the gap with NT, as it should. To me, they are just a nicer card, in my opinion. Diamond Dog with the tip for the host says, any chance of getting Sports Card Professor on an episode? I noticed you also followed his channel. Go Coyotes. Go Diamond. Yeah, well, definitely something to discuss. Thank you for bringing it up. Diamond Dogs. Hobby Champs, are you and Brad the Comeback Cards Investors Men's Group? Okay, for a question for deep value. Brent says modern cards are like stock out of the money stock options with time decay. Lots of theories, lots of thoughts on all these sorts of things. Okay, let's keep on rolling, Adam. Let's keep on rolling. Ronald Acuna Jr., $65,000 right now for his red refractor from 2017 Bowman Chrome. 5 copies produced. Bowman and Topps, I believe the ink, they provide a surface that the ink looks so good on. I think better than Panini, better than Upper Deck. And I think Upper Deck makes the nicest looking field cards, but Topps cards, they've figured out what to layer on top of their cards so that the ink is beautiful, and they're almost always 10 autographs. This one's really nice. It's a BGS True Gem Plus, 395s, and centering is a 10. Adam, this is a big card. I mean, the 2013 Giannis Gold Prism rookie out of 10. It's sitting at 40,000. I would expect this to be higher. I would expect it to be higher, sure. But this is a really nice card. And then, of course, we've got a Tiger Woods SB Authentic. This is the gold. This is the gold version out of 100. An amazing card. Amazing. Adam, what this card? Speak to that a little bit, because it seems like it's low right now in price to me. What do you think?
First, I want to just real quick on the Acuna. I want to ask Brent and other baseball people in the group. He's just gotten done with this like historic season, right? I'm not a baseball guy, so if I say anything stupid, don't judge me. But Acuna has had this incredible season. This is his first Bowman card. It's the red version, and if this was Trout, and we saw Trout sell for over $1 million for this card. We've seen other guys sell for huge money, right? Like huge money. Why isn't Acuna viewed the same way? What's different about Acuna is what I want to ask them. And then back to Giannis, I asked this question on my Instagram, one of my reels, Jeremy. Is this the best gold Prism card? And I think it's a really good question, because there's really 4 of them that are in the running, right? There's this, there's the LeBron 2012, there's the Jokic, right? And then there's the, who am I forgetting? There's the Luka. Those are your group of 4. And, you know, Giannis has already got a championship. He's got a game that seems like it's going to translate for a long time. He just added Lillard to his team, which gives him a few years to really add to that championship total. And maybe he didn't make the finals each of the last couple of years, but like Jeremy, he's got 2 MVPs under his belt. And this is his Prism rookie, which there are 10 of in the world. It is literally like, along with like his Logo Man autos and his Black Prism, like his best card in existence. And it sits here at this price. It's not going to, I promise you, it won't land at this price. It will definitely get more bids, but it's shocking to see it sit this low right now. I would have thought we would have gone into the last date close to the 6 figures, and it's not there, which makes you sort of wonder.
Well, you know, you asked the question on the Acuna, and Connie Choi says the economy. She says all the crazy high prices was when the card market was booming, and I think she's not wrong on that. You know, that we have seen things change in the last couple of years, despite that. And so that's speaking on, I believe, the Acuna. But this card, still, I'm with you. I'm surprised to see it. And it's funny to say 40 grand is so low, but I'm surprised to see it so low. You know, it's a pop 4, 3 graded higher, but this is a case where there are only 10 of these in existence. And the pop count, there's probably, I can't say for sure, but it's plausible to say that this is not a pop 4. It's plausible this is a pop 2 or 3, and that there's been a couple of 9s resubbed to get a 10 and didn't happen. So it's quite possible that that's the case as well. I want to welcome Steve Elmore. Thanks for joining the show tonight. Good to see you back. Good evening, 90s hockey collector. All right. Oh, and nice looking cardboard says the Giannis is such a powerful card, and after 10 years, its icon continues to grow. That's true. That is true. Okay, let's go to the next row here. We have a Luka Gold Prism, the black gold though. So this is also numbered. This is numbered out of 5 actually. It's a BGS 9.5. BGS population is 2 at 36,000. Here's a Trout. You just mentioned the Trout Red before that is sold for $1 million. Here's the X Fractor out of 225, and the Josh Allen National Treasures Hollow Silver Patch Auto out of 25. BGS 9.5, sitting at $10,500. Adam, please provide your thoughts on what, like, if a Luka Prism Gold out of 10, I'm guessing would sell for more than the Prism Black Gold out of 5.
Way more.
Right? Way more. And I think there's some people that would question that. I bet Brent would say that doesn't make any sense. What are your thoughts? Why is that the case?
I want to hear Brent's thoughts actually on that. That'd be interesting. So for me, it's really clear. The gold is it's not just about rarity, right? Like there's cards that are numbered out of 1 that aren't nearly as cool. There are prism parallels that are numbered out of 1 that aren't as cool as a gold out of 10 in the eyes of collectors, because the gold is like something that goes back to the very first year of prism. It has that, it has that heritage, but it's also something that sort of everybody agrees year after year, like that's one of the cards to own. I think there's definitely people who believe the black gold is at least in the same conversation. There's half as many of them. It has gold on it, but it doesn't have the same level of heritage. But I don't think this is a card that we should talk about what it doesn't have. I would be more comfortable talking about what it does have. And I mean, let's put it this way, Jeremy, when we did the iconic 100 ranking, we asked, about which cards in the hobby do you think are the most iconic? The Prism Luka, both when I did the ranking just for BCF, just for basketball cards, and when I did it for PWCC, the Luka Prism has universally been viewed for the last few years as really like one of the modern iconic cards. And it's not shocking because of how many people he brought into the hobby. And that's in all of its variations. This is one of the very best ones, one of the very best variations in the world. Maybe it's not the Prism Gold, maybe it's not the Prism Black, but it's not far behind those ones. It's like 3rd or 4th in the pecking order, and that's a big deal.
Yeah, and a bid just came in on it as we're talking. Wiz Collectibles says aesthetic makes all the difference in gold prices being higher than black gold, and to me that makes sense. This is not as pretty of a card. The black tempers down the amount of reflective surface and the beautiful gold that you notice on a regular Prism Gold. Brent says significance takes priority over the rarity. Hot Diamond Dog says hot take. Anyone else think Trout is overrated till he makes a postseason? I sort of do. And then Brent did answer your question. Adam, my Machado red is 15K. Freddie Freeman is 25K. Arenado is 20s. Outside of Trout and Ohtani, Acuna is very expensive and like a stock option. Okay, and
so,
hello. I just want to say a quick hello to Orlando, Collector's Dream. Adam, feel free to reply.
But again, I'm not a baseball guy, but like, didn't Acuna just have like as good of a season as either of those guys have ever had? Like, why isn't he in that? And I don't know. So please just educate me here. Why isn't he viewed the same way as those other guys? And is it just the name, or what's the reason?
Team personality. I think there's a lot. It's not, the hobby is not just built on stats is one thing that we, I mean, if you've been in this hobby for any length of time, you understand that it's not just stats that drives player value. Very important. Don't get me wrong. Stats are very important, but there are other qualities of a player that bring them hobby love.
Well said.
Michael Jordan, Jambalaya, BGS 9.5. This one is neat. It's got 2 10s on it, a 9 and a 9.5, which is a 38 total grade, I believe, a 38 and a half actually total grade. So a very strong grade on this Jordan Jambalaya, sitting at $29,000. Nice looking card right there. We sold one a couple months ago. It happened to be mine, and that ended, I think, $54,000. This one's sitting at 29. So a bit of a way to go on this one until it reaches there. We have another Acuna. This is the Chrome Update Superfractor 1/1 autograph, BGS 9.5, sitting at $12,000. And a box of 04 Mega Cracks, the 3rd edition. Potential Messi rookie in there, BBCE authenticated. Adam, Michael Jordan Jambalaya, we both love this card. You own a copy. I no longer own a copy. Cajun Cardboard owns my old copy now. I'm glad that he was that I know where it went. That's very cool. What are your thoughts on this? Are we going to see this receive a few more bids before the end of the night?
Man, I sure hope so. I would think so. I don't think it's sold anything close to this low in a 9.5 in a long time. And like, as you pointed out, it has the second 10 subgrade too, which I think matters. This is a card that at one point was really like knocking on the door of being a $100,000 card. It's a card that's pretty much undisputed as the Jordan insert card. We all know the numbers. If you don't, it was a 1 in 720 pack insert, and with 15 cards in the set, that makes it a 1 in 10,800 pack card. But the story about this card to me is, if you ever ask Gene, and I've done it, what card from Arena Design, or what card from your time working with Arena Design and Fleer is the one that's your favorite? And in fact, I asked her, I'll show you this. I asked her what she wanted to put on her cover of BCF, Jeremy, with the one that I interviewed her for. And that tells you the story right there. I mean, it's Jordan extended from top right to bottom left corner, flying through the air with the orange red on the left and the green on the right. The card moves as you sort of tilt it side to side, the background does. But Jordan in the foil sits above that movement. Whenever you see movement on a card, whenever you see the cardboard create movement, it's always a beautiful thing. And I mean, it's the Jordan insert. It's the best. It's not the most valuable Jordan insert. There's probably one or two that are higher, but it's the best Jordan insert card to me. And that there's a reason why I haven't sold mine, even though I paid far less for it than what it's been worth. I love it, Jeremy. It's a great card.
All right, let's try to get through at least 2 pages here. We're into extended bidding now. We have a PSA 5 Mickey Mantle Bowman 1951 Bowman rookie card, his one and only true rookie card right here. That's a beautiful copy. Centering looks, it's not perfect, but very strong for the issue. Looks like just a wonderful copy right there. This Curry rookie, the autograph has certainly is. I'm just going to open this up so you guys can see this. It's not a pretty autograph on this one. Definitely sat out on a shelf in the sun for a couple of years. And so just make sure you know what you're buying if this is a card that you are bidding on. Definitely a problem with that autograph. But overall, the card does grade an 8. It is a rookie, and only 31 copies left. So it might be a case of, beggars can't be choosers sort of thing on that one. We have
Jeremy.
Giannis National Treasures RPA out of 99, sitting at $44,000. I definitely think the price is showing the autograph, or the autograph is impacting the price on this one as we sit right now. We're going to keep on rolling. Another
Can I ask a quick question on the Curry before we go away from the Curry? I've always wondered this. I wonder if there's anybody in the chat who knows it. Let me just give a little background and then ask the question. This is the year that we knew the Upper Deck and Topps knew they were losing their license to Panini. And so with that happening, they each put out sets sort of as quickly as they could. That's why Steph doesn't have a Warriors uniform on in his Chrome rookie. And that's why he's wearing a Davidson jersey in this card. It's also why this card doesn't have a patch on it, because they were only able to put out autographs that year for Exquisite, because there weren't patch material for them to use for the rookies. So it is NBA licensed, though. It's an NBA licensed card. So with that said, they every year for Exquisite, you know where I'm going with this, Jeremy, every year they made like a jersey numbered variation, right? But for this year, with the 2 cards, there are 2 Stephs. One of them is numbered to 30, and the other one, the one you're looking at right here, is numbered to 31. I've never understood why they did that. I wonder if there's anybody in the chat who might, maybe Joe or somebody else might know what reasoning they had for that. I'd love to hear it if anybody has any idea.
Let us know if anybody knows. I don't know. It is an interesting thing, and would probably damper my interest slightly on that card if I was interested in it. SGC 100 Pristine Bowman Chrome Mike Trout right here. That's a pretty looking card. Pop 4. LeBron James Topps Chrome Refractor rookie. PSA 10 at $25,000. You couldn't buy the non-refractor version for that a couple of years ago. So this has really come down to earth. And here's the basic version of the Tiger Woods SP Authentic rookie auto out of 900, a beautiful copy. This is a PSA 10 card and a PSA 10 on the auto as well. Andre the Giant makes an appearance. The All-Stars BGS 9.5. Luka Fast Break 1 of 1 on the block tonight at 9,250 right now. And the Contenders Mahomes rookie ticket auto BGS 9.5. Let's keep on rolling. We're gonna kind of get lots of blue. Adam, here's a Kobe logo man. You just acquired a Kobe logo man. Here's another one. This is from National Treasures, the Colossal. 2 copies made. BGS 9.5, $36,000, significantly lower in value than the one you just picked up. We also have a triple logo man from Exquisite. Chris Paul, Brandon Roy, Kevin Durant, rookie card logo man. Maybe a card for Brent. He's on the Kevin Durant kick. Maybe he'll make a play for this one. And a Justin Herbert, National Treasures, PSA. This is what this is, a PSA 8. The autograph is a 10. Beautiful 4-color swatch. Beautiful autograph. Pop 2. $12,000 right now. Adam, and the bid just came in for $500 on top. And notice that Jambalaya just went up to $30,000. Adam, any comments on the logo man?
The triple in the middle is really an interesting card. I'm generally not a logo man without autograph fan, but I got to tell you the story on this one, Jeremy, because I think it's really cool. So if you see on the right there of that card, you've got Chris Paul, and in the middle you've got Brandon Roy, and on the left you've got Durant. Well, Chris Paul was the rookie of the year in 2005. Brandon Roy was the rookie of the year in for the 2005-2006 season. Brandon Roy was the rookie of the year for the 2006-2007 season. And then Kevin Durant, this is actually his rookie year card. So, and then he ended up being the rookie of the year. So it's super cool because I don't know if based on the timing of Exquisite, whether Upper Deck knew Durant was going to be the rookie of the year or whether they were sort of projecting at that point. It's kind of hard to, I don't know if we can go back and figure that out. If we were detectives and try to figure that out, maybe we could, but I look at this one and it makes me smile because some people are going to look at that and they're not going to see the significance of those 3 players together. But I can't think that there's more than a couple cards in history where you're getting all 3 logo men of the 3 previous rookie of the years on the same card. And I just think that's really cool.
That's really cool. All right. Jordan sticker, PSA 10 at 28.5.
Huge card. Huge
card. Here's a Wayne Gretzky, PSA 8 O-Pee-Chee. We're going to open it up. We're going to take a look at this. That's what we do here. Let's have a peek and see what we got. Top edge looks really nice. Light, rough cut, but I like it. Slightly off-centered left to right. It's noticeable for sure. The registration is very strong. It's not bang on perfect, but it's very strong. Touch of white on the bottom corners, top corners. Oilers is on the orange. Oilers is on the same plane as the black Edmonton. I like to see that. Not really noticing much in a couple of small little, not really fish eyes, but just print defect there, one over here. But the black is lining up nicely. The black borders are lining up really nicely. You're not seeing much white at all where it's not supposed to be. There is a hint of it, but it's very minor. Face is nice and in focus. Legs are almost perfectly in focus. I think centering is the weakest part of this card as far as an 8, but it's definitely an 8, but the centering is imperfect. So I like the copy, but if you're someone who values centering above all else, probably not the copy for you. So it's also sitting a little bit high. It's off center top to bottom as well. So I would call this probably an average 8 overall because the image is so strong, but the centering kind of brings it back down a little bit, in my opinion.
Question for you on it. When you look at that card, the question that comes to my mind is eye appeal. And I wonder what percentage, Jeremy, of eye appeal do you think is centering?
Oh, almost all of it.
Okay. Because I look at that and I notice the centering immediately. I do. And then when I look deeper, I go, dang it, this is a nice card, though. Like everything else looks the way you want it to look, like you were saying. Somebody else said, no rough cut, I'll pass, which is totally fine because some people just really want to have that rough cut. But I wonder if maybe we get lost in like the other attributes of a card. Is centering. Maybe it is. Maybe centering just matters more than the other 3 things do combined to some people. I'm not going to tell you you're wrong on that, but if you're not somebody who cares about centering, this could be a great 8 for you.
Well, Diamond Dog says if centering is off enough to notice, it's going to nag it. Yeah, I think there's something to that. Jay-Z says the registration is amazing, but the centering, not so much. Nice looking cardboard. If we don't get the full Gretzky evaluation, we riot. Nice. Hobby Champ says 0 rough cut. It's not 0. There is some on the top and the bottom, but yeah, I agree with Hobby Champ's 0 on the right and the left. And I like a uniform border. So, I would prefer that you had the same border on all 4 edges, and we just don't have that in this case. But, eye appeal to me starts with centering and you go further from there. If a card is because you just notice it right away. Then I look at registration and then I look to other things like, whether it's fish eyes or like snow effect, any other print defects, that sort of thing that I then go to. But to me, it's like corners are the last thing I care about, because, you know, when it's that applies to the lower grades, you know, the 3s, 4s, 5s. All right, let's keep on going. Kevin Durant, Topps Chrome Refractor rookie, BGS 9.5. We got an Allen Iverson Rubies, 97 Skybox Premium Rubies. These cards are amazing in hand. Drill down, have a look at this card if you haven't yet, and you know, do the 360 on the PWCC site, because this card is amazing in hand. And it's Allen Iverson. I don't know if we've ever seen one of these in the auction, Adam. PMG Green, Dan Marino. Note that the football greens are out of 15, while the basketballs are out of 10. This is an amazing card. PSA 7, very strong for the issue. 8,500, Dan Marino. I mean, he's one of the greatest of all time. You know, maybe didn't win a championship, but still one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. And then this is my card right here. This is the 97 Upper Deck game jersey Gretzky. This is his first autograph memorabilia card that ever came out. This is not a three. Some people might be looking and thinking this is a 3-color patch. It's not. This piece here is actually the cardboard. That's die cut in here. The jersey swatch is this kind of almost, you know, this 3/4 moon shape piece. It's a nice 2-color patch, the black and the gray, which is, I believe, pretty rare. Only 99 copies produced, hand numbered on the front. The autograph is tougher to see, but it's definitely there. And Adam, you did a reel on this. What are your thoughts on the significance of this card? And it's one that I'm going to one day regret moving.
Yeah. So I actually did a reel on another card where I used your card to also talk about it. I kind of wish I would have saved it to talk about your card on its own. And it's because of its importance in the history and in the progression of the hobby. So I think you did a great job of talking about it, but I would say you sort of understated your own card here a little bit. When we think about like major innovations in the history of cardboard, we talk about a million different innovations, but one of them was when autographs and memorabilia came together on the same card. That happened this year in 1997. It happened with Upper Deck, and they did it across all 4 sports, but sort of in different, like within about 12 months of each other. In hockey, Patrick Waugh was done in Series 1 of Upper Deck. There's only 33 of that card, and then you've got Gretzky in Series 2. I think the card suffers in some people's opinion because the autograph doesn't have a perfect placement for it. You could even go past it without noticing the autograph. But to me, Jeremy, that does not matter. This card had to exist before the cup, right? This card this is Wayne Gretzky's first autograph jersey card. For the same reason that I bought the first Logo Man auto of Kobe Bryant, I look at this card and I say, if I was going to buy a hockey card, like, honestly, I'm not just saying this, Jeremy. I mean this. Like, that's probably the hockey card that I would buy, especially considering what it's priced at. If this is Michael Jordan and it's one of the nicest jersey pieces, and it's the 97 game jersey auto of Michael Jordan, the one where he's in an all-star jersey, this is that card for hockey. So if it's Jordan, it's like a $500,000 to $800,000 card. But if it's Gretzky, it's $20,000. Like, you and I talked about this years ago, where it was like, that doesn't make any sense. I get it. It's Michael Jordan versus Wayne Gretzky. I get it. There's 23 versus 99. I get it. I totally get it. The price is off though, man. It is. Like, I look at that and I go, that needs to be worth way more than $20,000. But you know, who am I to say what something should be worth? It just doesn't make sense to me that one would be worth so much more. I mean, it makes sense that it would be worth more, but not so much more than the other.
Yeah, there's the other thing is that he's pictured in his all-star jersey, which I think is actually pretty cool. But I think if it was an Edmonton card, it might be a different situation. And like you pointed out, they didn't leave a spot for the autograph. Whereas on the Jordan, they did leave a spot for the autograph. And it really pops out at you.
Hold on. Regardless though, it's the first one. So
I know,
we can say, well, aesthetically, but it doesn't matter. It's the first one. And the first, I collect firsts. Firsts, I believe, really matter. They always have. I think they always will. And I think that as the years pass, and this is just, again, I'm not just saying this because this is Jeremy's card, I promise. I think as the years pass, if you think about Gretzky cards that matter, you're always going to think about the rookie card. Always, right? How many cards do you think about before this one? Like, There can't be that many.
There aren't that many. There aren't that many that are. There are some you think about, but not that I think are as desirable or as valuable as this one should be. Brent says the Brady ticket is similar with the auto not being really visible. That's a good point for a very, very important and high valued card. So we'll see what happens tonight. I'm definitely hoping this thing doubles in value, but we'll see where it ends up. So and I'm curious to know where it lands. It's graded a PSA 6, and I can actually just speak to that quickly as well. I've looked at this thing. Honestly, there's like no reason for this to grade less than an 8, even a 9. I think the reason they got penalized is because on the back in the 96, 97 jersey cards, they were so thin that you could see, like you could actually see like the back is elevated where the jersey piece is sitting. And that's the only thing that I had an expert look at it could tell about it that was wrong. So very interesting. I think it's a great card. I hope it goes to a great home.
Can we talk about the Iverson real quick?
Yeah, please.
Iverson doesn't. Do you remember another Iverson card in the Premier? I mean, he's loved. He's very much loved, and he's got a great fan base. But he doesn't have a lot of cards that sort of get into this $15,000 area where items in the Premier are supposed to land. So this is one of those, and it's not there yet. What's it at? Is it 9,500 right now?
Yeah.
It's not there yet, and who knows if it will get there. But the thing that I would tell everybody, I think you already mentioned this, but just in case people didn't hear, take this card or click on this link and then go to the 360, just tilt it side to side. Just look at what it does, because besides having it in hand, the PWCC 360 that shows that effect is the best way that you can see it. Maybe a video as well. You can watch the video. It's just gorgeous, Jeremy. I love this card aesthetically. Love it.
So do I. All right. This is also my card. This Jordan 96 Bowman's Best Atomic Refractor, Pop 15. One sold in the July auction for like 23, 4, 5, or 6,000, somewhere between 23 and 26K. I don't remember exactly how much. But this one is mine. I love this card, Adam. I recently saw a Kobe, and I thought, oh, if I still had the Jordan, I could possibly pair them up.
Yep.
But I don't. And this is my favorite Atomic Refractor, the yellow, the red, just a beautiful, beautiful card.
Well, it's the first Bowman's Best Atomic Refractor.
Oh, is it?
It's the first one. Yeah, that's what stands out to me here. You had the other one that you sold too, and I told you then. I was like, Jeremy, this is a great card. I like it, but if I was going to buy one, I would want the 96. And you said, well, ironically, I'm selling one of those too. And I thought, you've got one of those? There's only like 15 of those in the world. So it's an event. Whenever a rare Jordan sells, we know that the PSA 10 Jordan's world has been kind of crazy. So maybe this one gets hurt a little bit because one sold just a few months ago, which you don't usually see on things that are this low. But I'm hoping for you, obviously, it does better. Right now, it's definitely lower than I personally would think it would go, but we'll see what happens tonight.
We'll see. The weird thing I was thinking about, if it does sell for like half of what the last one sold for, the person who bought the one in July is going to look at that and think, oh darn, oh darn. So, and then of course, like someone like me being the seller would think, I wish I would have sold mine in July, but you can't go back in time.
Can't go back.
These cards are going to sell for what they sell for, and I'm going to be happy either way, legitimately. So, of course, the more the better, but it is what it is. We have a beautiful pair of Ty Cobb T206 sweet cap backs, the green and the red. They both have above average eye appeal ratings. The green is a 4. The green is the rarer, tougher version of the card. The green is the rarer, tougher version. The red, I prefer aesthetically. I prefer the red to the green. I think it's just a nicer looking card, but it's more common. In this case, the higher grade, I believe, is what's pushing it to currently be priced higher than the green. But Adam, by the end of the night, I would not be surprised if the green outsells the red. I won't be surprised if it overtakes it in price, even though it's 2 grade points lower.
Which one would you want?
The red. I would want the red because now the red is like, it's really nice. Does it look almost too nice to me? The green, they're both, hold on. Let's just open these up and take a closer look at them so we can just kind of see Like, this is gorgeous, but the green background, it's not as popping to me. You can make out the graininess of the ink as it was laid down, whereas the red, it just like that background is so solid. I'm noticing now that we look in that there is a bit of a registration issue. His eyes look a little blurry to me, but that's the only place that it bothers me is in the eyes. Whereas on the green, let's take a look at green. Yeah, they're not perfect, I don't think, but they are less blurry than the red.
They
so
are.
I think I'd be okay with a bit of the registration issue on the red here. Now, maybe I would take the green. I do like the green as well. I like the looks of the red better.
Gosh,
I'm torn, Adam. I think I'm kind of torn. Joe Perot says, I'll take the green. Irish Twins, I'll take the green for sure. Diamond Dog, card makes my nipples soft. What is Michael? Let's see. Michael Hathaway says, really gorgeous color on that green cob. Clean strike from the black plate. Actually get all the color depth and contrast it needs to shine. So Michael Hathaway, who knows his stuff, likes the card a lot.
I like Michael's comment here. So when you just did that little thing where you went back and forth, you toggled back and forth, that's the way to do it. And clearly there's a conversation. What do you like better, red or green? I think most of us are going to choose red because it just pops. But Jeremy, that image on the green, to me, I'm taking the green. And
yeah, the green is
barely, but I'm taking the green.
The green is clear, and I'm going to admit something for the first time here. I think these are different images. I always thought this was are they like the collar's in the same place, but the face looks like it's different.
The collar's a different color. It's got to be a different image.
Yeah, but it's in the exact same position. 3 buttons. Yeah, it's a different picture. I never noticed that it was a different picture. It's my first time realizing that. Oh, interesting. Well, that changes things a little bit, but yeah, the green is nice, and the centering on the green is just bang on. Like, look at that centering. The red, it's low. It's sitting a little bit low.
That's Jeremy. Now, I will say this though: 6-4 is legit, Jeremy. Like 6-4.
I don't care about the number, Adam. Honestly,
I know. But a lot of people do.
Look at the corners. I think a lot of it is okay. So the red is held back a bit by centering, but look at the corners on the green. They're all slightly rounded, but look at the perfect uniformity of that rounding. I love the rounded corners on this green card.
But look at the corners on the red. They're just sharp.
They're sharp. I like this one. I like the corners on this better than the sharp. I like the rounded corners better than the sharp corners on a card from 1909. Call me crazy, but I don't know. I'm leaning towards the green now. And I like the red background better, but overall I'm leaning towards the green. And the gray almost means nothing to me in this case because they're both so nice. And the centering is even good on the red.
The chat is on fire right now. I mean, it's just on fire. Except for I have no idea what Rage is saying. I've got lost on what Rage is saying. But Will just said he looks calmer in the green one, perhaps before the manslaughter charges. I don't even know what's going on anymore.
Will says green is better aesthetically, softer. I like that it's softer. He looks calmer in the green one, perhaps before. Oh my gosh. Rage says the boys regular looks a little fan. Okay, Rage, thank you. Diamond Dog, try not to look at this card visually. Does nothing for me. If I owned, I'd sell for some Terrell. Jay-Z, Jeremy, rounded corners for the win. What can I say? Michael Hathaway, Team Green. Hashtag team. I think I'm on Michael Hathaway's team on this one right now. No problem, Rage. You guys have a blast in the chat. That's what this is all about.
Well, just to be clear though, just so everybody heard, and I love this. Okay, I love this. Jeremy just acknowledged, I want corners to not be sharp, which is kind of cool, I think. Like on a
card from 1909, I want my card to have lived a good life. You know, I want it to tell a story. If it just came out of the cigarette pack in 1909 to 1911 and then sat in a binder or between in a book for someone for 100 years until the find, it's not that exciting of a story. I'd prefer not to know that it passed through and someone enjoyed it. I want to know that the kid that's father gave it to them back when he was smoking those smokes in the 1910s, that kid enjoyed that card. Call me crazy, but I like a card to look its age to a degree.
Give me both. Okay. So I would love both. But I also think there's something really wonderful about a card that has just managed to go through decades without having any sort of life, right? To just sat still for that long. That's pretty cool too. But I get what you're saying. And I think that it's just really interesting that here we are in 2023 and we're still discussing like, which of these things do I want? And it's different. It's a different conversation than we were having 10 years ago. I love it.
Let's keep on rolling here because that was definitely fun. We have a Pokemon Championship card here from the year 2000. Don't know, a trainer card. Looks really cool that it's all silver, but I can't speak to it. $20,000 tells me that a lot of people can speak to it. So
yeah,
pretty cool. We love this card, Adam. You and I both love this LeBron rookie, the Ultimate Collection, the horizontal, the full body shot, going in for a dunk. Nice autograph. Only 25 copies made. BGS 7.5. Looks like centering is a 7. Surface, I can't tell what surface was. Let's just see, because this is, everything's an 8.5 or better, except for corners are a 7, but 3 of them are white. This card, and it is a 2-color. We're seeing a little bit of the gold there, Adam.
Yeah,
I didn't notice at first. So this is a great card. I think this is, if the grade is going to impact the price, this to me is an opportunity to buy one on the cheap, because who really cares about the fact that the corners are a 7? I mean, who cares? Let me see. I know people care. I get it. But cards out of 25, it's an important card. And it's, I don't know. I think you're going to get it at a discount. Snap it up if it's something that you want.
So don't talk too much, because I keep thinking about whether I want to bid on this card. I really do. I don't have a LeBron.
I would expect you to be interested in this card for all those reasons.
This is an Adam card here, because it's super significant card, right? It's one of his 2 main RPAs. There's this one, and then there's the Exquisite. Jeremy, this is my favorite thing to say about this card. The Exquisite, there's 122 between the 99 and the 23. Ultimate just has 26. Just this card and the Logo Man Auto, which is his best card in existence, right? I'm talking about the parallels of the rookie, right? You've got 26 Ultimates. You've got 122 Exquisites, and I know that the Exquisite's worth way, way more, and I get it. But you got a full image of LeBron, great Hall of Foil, a good autograph, not as nice of an autograph as exists on the Exquisite. I've got to call that out. But I love the card, man. And the fact that Brent points out it's been sold recently too. I want to buy my card after it's sold 20 other times recently, and I'm getting it for the cheapest. That's why I love this. I love
Now's the best time to buy a Brady Champ ticket that we've seen in several years, because we see them every month. Same thing goes for a Jordan PSA 10 Fleer rookie. We also have a Tua National Treasures RPA out of 25. We got a Lamar Jackson Stars and Stripes. This patch is absolutely ridiculous, beautiful, crazy. Just ridiculous. I don't know what else to say. BGS 8, another corners being 7.5. Everything else is 9 or better. You buy this card for the patch and for the limited print run of 15 versus the corners, in my opinion. Someone called out earlier I think it was who called it out? Jake Dahl maybe called out the Jordan limited logos 2006 Exquisite, absolute beautiful card, right? What just got a bid? The Pokemon just got a bid from 20 to 23. Actually, this is a gorgeous Michael Jordan card, Adam. Nice 3 colors. It is, it would almost be nicer if the patch was shifted over a bit so you had more red than black, but there's enough red there to satisfy me as far as the 3 color goes. Gorgeous autograph. BGS 9 overall, pop 13, none higher, $32,000. Crazy card right there, wouldn't you say?
If you wanted a really beautiful Jordan autograph patch, that's one of the nicest looking ones that's out there. Is it? I can't see. Is it graded a 9?
It's graded a 9.
10 autograph, probably. That's a gorgeous card.
Yeah, let's just not say probably and look at the auto for ourselves. Let's grade it ourselves. We don't need Beckett's opinion. Yeah, it's a 10 auto as far as I'm concerned. It's laid down beautifully.
Perfect.
Yeah, I mean, there's a little white showing right there, but who cares? It's nothing. Mm-hmm. I'm noticing the C in Michael is a little bit faded right there, so that might have impacted the surface a little bit, unless that's on the slab. I just don't know.
Might be, yeah.
Surface came in at a 9.5, so that might be the slab. Tough to say. Corners, kind of where I want my weakest grade point to be on a card like this, being that they're so thick. But and you can tell their corners are not perfect. But this card is a perfect card. Like, I'm not saying condition wise, this is like a perfect sports card, right, Adam? Like, oh my gosh, numbered out of 50, 25
great image.
50.
Just a great image of MJ too. I'm a big, you know me, I'm a big holofoil guy, and Exquisite did holofoil in 04 unbelievably, and then the next few years they didn't, and I've always sort of not liked it as much, but sometimes the regular gold foil just hits right. And with that red, that Bulls red in that card, I think that's an example where it just looks amazing just being regular foil.
It's great. 1976 Topps basketball unopened wax box, 24 packs. These are big oversized cards. Really cool piece to have. $4,700 right now. Slam Jam. Michael Slam Cam. Sorry.
Slam Cam.
Slam Jam? Cam. Okay, if I said Jam. Slam. Well, that's a fun little soundbite we just had there. Slam Cam from Skybox Z-Force, Michael Jordan, PSA 10, $9,750, riding the PSA 10 Jordan wave right now. PSA 9, the classic 61 Jordan. Mm-hmm. These are pretty cool cards. I got to admit, I wasn't a huge fan of them. I'm still not a huge fan of them, but I like them more than I did a year ago. I like the stamp on the back is really cool. This is a 9. It's not perfectly centered, as you can see, but a really cool card. Adam, you know, before I let you, I want you to speak to why, Nick, just speak from because you understand the collector's mindset on this card. I don't, because I just don't love it as much. Actually, just do it right now. Why is this card so desired by the hardcore Jordan collectors?
Well, there's not a lot of, I mean, every serial numbered parallel of MJ from his Bulls era, all of them are huge deal cards. This one, there's only 61, right? So, you know, you would have to ask a question like, would you rather have this or the 97 Ultra? They're similar type cards. There's a lot fewer of this card than there is of that one. And that's, you know, that's the key. So I sold a common card from the set, a Brian Russell recently, and it sold for like $200. So, you know, when you get a set like that, where even the commons sell for pretty big money, that MJ is going to be a huge card. This is one of those, though, that you can go back and look at some of the big sales. This card is sold for a ton of money in the past. And so seeing it sit where it is right now makes me go, oh, wow. Like, does this have a ways to go? Are we going to get closer to what it sold at before? Or has this card dipped that much?
Interesting. Well, we'll find out in a couple hours here. LeBron James, 2018 Prism Gold out of 10. Not the nicest Prism Gold design or image of LeBron. Something about that sideways with the two arms coming up like this. I don't love the looks of it. However, it's still a LeBron James Prism Gold. And if anyone is working on like the run of LeBron James Prism Golds, which if anyone's working on the run of any Prism Gold, it's probably LeBron or Steph Curry who had them right from the beginning, right? And so this card, I think, it's an important card, and I can see there being like people duking it out for it. So do you know, Adam, of people working on that Prism Gold run for LeBron, and do you think we're going to see a little bit of action as the night goes on?
Yeah, our friend Ross Berman has all of them except for the 2012. There's certainly other guys, though. It's not just Ross. It's not shocking, right? You've got 2012 to 2022. At this point, you've got 11 years worth of LeBron gold cards, and people want to own every one of them. But what we've seen is it's sort of come in waves, right? We've seen people sort of like going after it and then selling them all. And it'll be nice when the time comes. And I believe that this time will come where we won't see these moving very often anymore.
Yeah.
And I really do believe that, because I think collectors at some point will be the ones that will own them. I just think that the prices got so high that then it sort of kind of got out of whack. And now it's sort of normalizing. We're not seeing nearly as many of them today as we saw 12 months ago, or even 18 months ago or 6 months ago. So I think that's really started to happen. But the thing that I'd point out here, I don't so much subscribe to this idea, but a lot of people love when an an iconic year exists. And I've heard people suggest that 2018 Prism is a really iconic year because of the Luka. And again, that's not necessarily something that I really prescribe to. I sort of just go to the first year of an important brand. But if you are like, then this one holds some significance. I couldn't tell. Does it say Los Angeles Lakers in the bottom right?
Yes, it does.
So that's interesting, right? Because he's not wearing a Lakers uniform, obviously.
Yeah.
And so some people might not like that, but still, he only has one 2018 Prism card. And
noticing the Merino PMG Green is getting several bids. We looked at it. I think it was at what, 7,000 something. It's up to 12 now. But back to this card very, very quickly. What you were saying was interesting about, the iconic year because another player has his rookie card in it. To me, that's a bogus argument. I dismiss that immediately for myself. Not saying it's not for somebody else, but for me, because LeBron James has a card in that. So, sorry, LeBron James card should be worth more because it's the year from Luka's rookie. Absolutely. I give zero credence to that approach personally. I can't think of an example where I like that approach or I could buy into that for myself. But that said, the Luka is an important and an iconic card, especially his gold. But I don't think that extends out to the other cards in the set myself. I'm with you, 2012. And then I come to not only what's iconic, i.e. 2012, but then what's beautiful. I like the 13s too. I think the first 2 years are the nicest myself. Let's try and get through page 2 here. Another Prism Gold 2017 LeBron James. This is a BGS 10 pristine. This one does say Cavaliers at the bottom, whereas this one up here, as Adam astutely pointed out, says Los Angeles Lakers, even though he's pictured in the Cleveland uniform. We've got the 2000 playoff contenders sealed box, potential Brady in there, or Warner, if you're looking for Kurt Warner still. And then you've got my favorite Griffey card, the 1999 Skybox Premium Star Rubies. My favorite. I do own one of these cards, and I absolutely love it. This is a PSA 6 coming in right now at $82.50. I love the image, just like about to slide or whatever. What a beautiful card. And in hand, so nice, nice.
You own that Griffey card?
I own this card. I have a BGS 9 with I think it's the top subgrades of all the 9. I think I have the nicest copy of all 50 on the planet because, in accordance with the grading companies. Yeah, I got to qualify it at that.
It's real. I mean, you and I actually looked at some rubies together at the show. I don't know if you remember at the National. It's really a beautiful card.
It's a gorgeous card. I have it on my Instagram. It's my one and only post on my Instagram where if you go through my feed, you'll see nothing there but the carpet on my floor because I thought I was being all cool with my filming, and I was like, I'm gonna bring it into the scene sort of thing. So it hasn't had a lot of views because of the way it's like there's nothing there to see. But I bought this card. I won it. I think I won it on PWCC on December 31st, 2020, I believe 19 or 20. So, before the run up. And this was a card, Adam, when I bought it, it was however long the auction was, I went and looked at it every single day. I got, super card horny for this card for weeks. And I would look and I obsessed over it. And then when the auction was done, I'm like, I'm winning this thing no matter what. And I put in a bid that was probably 3 times what I paid for it. And I looked into it. And first of all, the colors are beautiful. The red foil is beautiful. And because I do believe, unless it's changed, that it does have the best subgrades of all there's none higher in a BGS slab. So I think of all 50 copies, I own the nicest one right now. And it's one of my favorite cards in my whole collection. And I mean, Griffey was the man when I was at my height of my baseball fandom was the mid 80s till the mid 90s. And Griffey was the guy. So
well, I know you sold some big cards recently. And the fact that you've held on to it, I think is an indicator of how much you must like the card. So it's neat whenever you own a card to be able to talk about it. We talked about the 2018 LeBron, the 2017 right there, just me, but I would take this one personally over the 2018 by quite a bit not because of the slab. In general, I kind of like, even though my gold prisms are in BGS holders, I like them a little bit more in the PSA holders. They're a little bit clearer, which is really nice aesthetically. But the reason I really like this one is it's a true Cavalier card. And whether something's a true Cavalier card or true Laker card, maybe doesn't matter to you. But I think LeBron's best championship pretty easily is his Cleveland championship. And so when I see this card, I see him in the Cavs uniform. Maybe it's a retro Cavs uniform. Some people might not like that. Maybe aesthetically it's sixes. But to me, I like that it's a true Cavs LeBron card. And so it'll be interesting to see how it comes out in the end. But I would think that this one should probably be worth a little bit more than the other one.
Okay, I got to pipe in because I'm with you. I'm with you on I think everything you just said. This image is way cooler than like this image. Listen. He's going in to score 2 points. That I like, but I just don't like the image. I look at him like this looks weird. This is pretty cool. Like he is the captain of the ship in this picture right here. I love the crowd in the background. You can see the people like this is in-game action, a consistent Cavaliers card, like you said. The fact that this is a BGS 10 and this is a PSA 10, I don't care. I would not pay a premium for this slab. It means BGS 10 over 9.5 means absolutely nothing to me as far as what I've never paid a premium. I don't even know if I've ever owned a BGS 10 card in my PC. Maybe picked one up in a collection, but to me, it doesn't make a difference. This is, I'm with you. I like this card more. I simply do.
But if you're putting together the run, maybe, and I don't know, maybe the 2018 has popped up more often. Maybe the 2017 has popped up more often. It may be just sort of like, it may be, whatever the price difference is, may be a result of that.
Couple quick comments here. Brent says Jay Lee paid $1,500 like the gangster he is. I did not pay $1,500. I think I paid $60. You can find it. It's on Card Ladder. It's probably in the PWCC database as well. I think I got it for $6,800, something like that, for my my BGS 9 of this card here. Diamond Dog, Jay Lee got them Canadian bucks. He's better. Well, they're not worth as much as your US bucks down there. Joe Perot says Star Rubies are legendary. Got to say, I'm a big fan of just about all Rubies cards. They're all pretty darn nice. Nick Leach says, I agree, Jeremy. BGS needs to change their scale. Well, they have tried, and that backfired. They just got to do it properly to please the whole hobby at once. All right, Adam, let's go on to page 3. Let's see what's going on. We're in the 2-minute extended bidding window. Now, on PWCC, on the Premier Auction, everything ends all at once. So if there's no bid on any item for a 2-minute period, the whole auction will end. That's likely not to happen. We're going to be going for another hour here at least, I have to think. So go grab yourself a cup of coffee. Go grab yourself a gin and Coke. Who drinks gin and Coke? Nobody. Nobody drinks gin and Coke. I take that back. Go grab yourself a nice beer or a glass of water. That's what I'm sipping on. Dig in with us. Or a glass of wine. Some people like to drink wine. Me and Adam have the water going. I'm going to run short here. Okay. Charizard, Adam. This is Charizard. This, I think, now I'm no Charizard Pokemon expert, but I think this is the number one. Like, isn't this the big one? The first edition Shadowless Holo?
Yeah, it looks like it. Why is it sitting at $28,000?
Why is it sitting at $28,500? I thought this was like a $200,000 card. If it's because the holder that's in, that it's criminal. It makes no sense. If a PSA 10 would outsell this by like 8 times, the bidders are just have it backwards. Now, this might be a different card, Adam. I don't know.
I don't think so. It's the 99 first edition.
That's what I thought. First edition, Shadowless Holo. Yeah, this is a steal. This is a steal right now. If it's that card, which we think it is, but we don't. Brent, thank you very much, man. That's very nice. Brent throws a $20 tip out there. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. And appreciate the comment as well.
We need to give Brent a tip too, and you and I need to work out some sort of profit sharing in this deal, because I'm getting ripped off right now, man. I'm getting ripped off.
Brent, you need to send Adam a direct PayPal, because
don't send me any money. Just go subscribe to BCF, Brent.
After Google takes their share, Adam, I definitely owe you a coffee or an Arnold Palmer. Do you drink Arnold Palmer's? That's one of my favorite drinks at a restaurant.
I don't even know what I drink. I don't drink alcohol. Is
No.
alcohol?
It's
not,
half
okay.
lemonade, half iced tea. They're delicious. They're delicious. I bet Brent likes a good Arnold Palmer. We got Dan the Card Man from Down Under.
What?
He confirms that is the big one. I think the holder is part of the reason the Pokemon community is really off of CGC. Doesn't make sense to me. Looks like an opportunity for somebody here. I don't know.
I thought CGC was like pretty strong in Pokemon. No?
Well, not my chair confirms. It's because of the slab. The PSA slab means more.
Man, that's dumb.
We're talking about packaging here. We're talking about the package. Oh my God. Okay. Well, it is what it is. But Dan does say values are down on the Charizards pretty hard. So Michael Hathaway knows his stuff. Says CGC holds pretty solid values in Pokemon. It's just that the first edition Charizard has fallen off a cliff.
It's amazing. It's amazing how things move the way they do, Jeremy. I knew that it had come down a lot, but I thought it was still like pretty well into the six figures. I guess not.
Gin and tonic is what people drink with gin, by the way, Adam. Not what did I say? Coke. Adam, look at this. Adam, Brent says he will subscribe to the BC. Go to bcfmag.com, guys. Give Adam and his excellent magazine some love. Not my chair. I own a PSA 10 Charizard, and the bag does less, and it goes way down from there for Charizard. So Charizard did strain his ACL. Everyone said he could not strain an ACL. He did. Charizard, in fact, strained an ACL, and he is going down in value and paying the price. He is paying the price. Michael says, I think his CGC 10 did 65K as part of the big Golden 100 auction. So still a steal here at 28.5 plus buyer's premium.
But Jeremy,
I think only cards not down right now are pro wrestling cards, the only ones that are not down. Dan says they were until the label change, the subgrade change, also recent issues with error cards, etc.
So the thing that I was just to say about that real quick that's really interesting to me is that like Pokemon is on fire still. Like go look at any weekly auction at PWCC. There is so much Pokemon action, and there's tons of people ringing into it. There's more bidders than ever before. It's interesting to me that the more bidders hasn't yielded higher prices on these things. In fact, some of the things are like decreasing in value. That's just super interesting. I didn't know that.
Diamond Dog says Charizard won't date underage girls either, at least for sure. For sure. CC says I could be wrong, but the copy is a Shadowless, one more desirable version. I think Shadowless is the desirable version, is my understanding.
I don't know, actually.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
We have an unopened box of 80. This is not 86. This is 1985 O-Pee-Chee Hockey. It came out Jan 1, 1986, but this is the 85 product. It does have the Mario Lemieux rookie in it. One of the, God, I remember opening up tons of packs of this as a kid. Wonderful box, BBCE authenticated. These were selling for $15,000 when they were coming up. This one seems pretty low right now at $77.50. Another unopened box, 87 NBA basketball, 87 Fleer basketball. You can get yourself a Brad Doherty rookie out of this product right here, right, Adam?
Very smart. I'm impressed you just pulled that out. Well done.
I know I was back in the day, the 88, you had Pippen, you had Rodman, you had Reggie Miller. The 88 was a better year than 87.
You just covered 88 without hitting John Stockton. Can you apologize and do that again?
Oh, John Stockton, my bad. Yeah, I'm sorry. You're right. And John Stockton. Like 88 was way better than 8. There's no good rookies in 87, but you have the Jordan second year, which is a huge card.
Okay, but here's what so 87, this is super interesting. 87 is like actually rarer than 86 by a long shot. Go look, and it's not. Part of it is that people don't grade the cards as often, but part of it is that there's far less cards, far fewer cards made in 87 than in 86. So if you go look at some of the pops, like look at the Jordan, look at all of them, the cards are actually pretty rare, and especially the sticker. That's one thing that's really interesting about 87. It's an interesting play because, again, look at it right now. It's $7,200. Compare that to what an 86 box would do, and then look at the quantities that are available of both. It's interesting. I don't do sealed at all. It's just not what I do. But like, that's a good buy right there. I really do. I would guess. I don't know the history on them. I would guess that's a pretty good buy for that box.
And it's still the second year Jordan being really, really important. That card does well itself. It's Jordan. What else can you say? And yeah. I say second year. I should say second year Fleer, just to be really clear. Second year Fleer Jordan. We have a Another gold prism. This is the Josh Allen rookie. It's a PSA 9. I think centering, you can definitely see it's sitting up high on the card. But again, only 10 of these things. Josh Allen, 4,100. Looks like seems good to me. Price-wise, I don't have any like comp information, but looks like a decent card. Ayrton Senna, 1984 Panini F1 Grand Prix, 8.5, sitting at $4,600. LeBron's SP Authentic rookie card and a PSA 10, $42,000. This is the limited version out of 50, Adam. Pop 10. I mean, it's a big card. Let's have a look at the autograph and see how it's holding up and looking. Looks really good, actually. Yeah, that autograph is it's not 100% perfect.
It's nice.
I only say that because I'm noting like really dark where the pen either was set where it came off there, you know, a little faded there, but still really strong overall for the autograph. And it's a PSA 10 on the card, 50 made. What do you think of this piece, Adam?
So I'm sitting here, I'm shaking my head because when I was working full-time at PWCC, I think most people know this, but maybe some people don't. I had the really good fortune of going into Oregon once a month, sitting down with all the items that were in the Premier Auction and doing a video on each of them. And it was the first time that I got to see a copy of this card, the limited version out of 50 in hand. And the thing that I will say this forever, like this card is so much nicer than the out of 500. Jeremy, it's almost a different card. And you can't tell when it's flat, when it just sits flat like this. Like you can see that it's hollow foil. It's like, oh, that's nice. But you hold both of them in hand and it's just not even close. That out of 500 is a great card. Don't get me wrong. This is a really amazing card in hand. And I would compare it. Like, I probably would take it over the Ultimate. I probably would take it over the Ultimate Collection rookie card. That's how nice it is in hand.
The Ultimate Collection out of 25 or the Ultimate Collection out of 250?
Out of 250, yeah.
Yeah. I would too, for sure, because it's out of 50 and it's got the gold hollow foil.
Sorry, let me be clear. I mean aesthetically. Like aesthetically, people talk about the Ultimate Collection being like one of the nicest cards of all time. And I get it. It's like really white. It's a white card base that this SP doesn't quite reach that level of whiteness on the sides. But like the hollow foil on this from top to bottom in the serial number and it's sort of more evenly distributed with the pose of LeBron, it's sweet, man. And the ultimate autographs are largely not very good. The autographs on these are a lot better. So if it was me, aesthetically, I would take even this over the Ultimate.
I think it's a beauty. Chris Hoge has joined the show. Welcome, Chris. Has loved listening as always, guys. The only thing that would make the show better is if Deep Value was on as the third Musketeer. Thanks, Chris. Good to see you, buddy. Okay, we have a 1990 Topps, no name on front, Frank Thomas, PSA 8, $10,000. This is a card that I have a hot take on, and I mean my hot take. This is a very popular card. It's people love this card. There's nostalgia on this card.
Yep,
there's nostalgia on this card. To me, it's like. Listen, I don't want to poop on this card because I understand its importance, but you know, I want his name on the front of the card. Like I want his name on the front of the card myself. It's one of those cards that, you know, I just don't understand all the love for it, but like it's not on my want list, never has been, don't think it ever will be, but I say hot take, I think I'm in the minority on this. I'm happy to be in the minority on this. I know a lot of people love the card, and I think that's wonderful. I just don't love it, and I just want to be forthright about that. I don't love it. It almost like there's something missing. Like
there is.
I don't know, Adam. What about you? I mean, listen. Tell me. I want you to take the opposing view just to balance things out. But what's your honest thoughts on it?
You know me well enough to know that I'm going to. I know you know that. I know you know this already. So. I've got a lot of things to say about this card. The first thing I'll say is that I can't remember the last time that an 8 moved of this card. We've seen others that have moved their 7s or 6.5s, and every time one moves, people sort of watch it because it's I think pretty widely thought of as like the card of the junk wax era. It's one of the only cards from the junk wax era that has held up, that is still super interesting. The thing that I'll tell you, this is an interesting narrative, Kate, Jeremy, and follow me to the punchline here because this is a little bit weird. But in all of the content that I've ever made, the things that I have made that have like done far better than I anticipated A couple of them are Frank Thomas pieces. When we did the Iconic 100 series, the Frank Thomas video had more views and more likes and more everything than any of the other 100 cards. And I think that means something. I don't know what it means. It means something. And then when I did a reel on this card a little while ago. It's one of the like 2 or 3 most viewed reels I've ever done. And it's just an educational piece on the card. Your point about nostalgia is spot on. This card to a lot of people is a card that they remember as being the, oh my goodness, I need to go look for that in my collection. I might own that. And people even still today, they see it and they go, what? That card's worth 5 figures? I had no idea it was worth that. I think I have that card. And they go and they look and they see Frank's name on the front and they realize that they have, the card that's worth $1. But I think you combine all of that together and what you have is like, it's just a really like, it's a nostalgic card that is the card of the era in a lot of ways. And that's pretty cool.
Okay. I mean, I agree with the nostalgic piece. People looking back to see if they had it. He's not pictured on his White Sox team here. A little fuzzy in the face, but it's nostalgia. And I got to say, this design is one that you kind of look at it. Wow, that's what they were doing in 1990 for designs, but it's one that it grows on you over time, right? Because it is representative of the era. I do like that about it.
So let me ask you this. This is a fun question, okay? Because you know all different sports. 1989 to 1994. 1988 to 1994. Is it the card of that era? Is there another card that is even close?
Well, okay, the 89 Griffey, there's millions of them, so it's a different, it's hard to say that would be the card, but it might be more iconic than this one.
Oh, it's more iconic. It's more iconic.
This one's more valuable. You've got the Stanley Cup Pro Set hologram, which is, a great card, but it's hockey. This is baseball. So I think that trumps it. In basketball, what do you really have from 88 to 94? I know the Scoring Kings Jordan is a huge card. I think that's 90. Is that 93?
93, but it's not in a 10. Maybe it could sort of rival this, but like, I'm talking value. Like from that era, I think this is the best card of that whole era. And now I cut it off intentionally so that we don't include 86, right? Because you get into 86 and you get a lot of stuff. But
it probably is. I can't think of nothing.
Especially from that ultra late 80s and early 90s. Like it's the card of the era, and I don't think there's a close second.
Yeah, you're probably right. 10 grand. Yeah, you're probably right. A PSA 8 Stanley Cup hologram isn't 10 grand, but it's also probably more than 5 grand. So that might be the second. That might be the second most valuable card from that era. Brent puts up a comment. He says, as a baseball collector, I have little interest in this Frank. And I have to ask, Brent, is that because you don't have any nostalgia attached to it? Is that why? Because, and if so, that's telling for the future a little bit.
Brent also doesn't like vintage baseball, right? I mean, I don't want to put words in Brent's mouth, but he's not always somebody who's like excited about vintage. This isn't, to me and you, I don't think vintage, but it sort of leans that same sort of way of like, there weren't that many Frank Thomas rookies, right? What did he have?
Yeah.
Like 5 or 6 rookie cards. So it's
Brendan Ryan says the 89 Upper Deck Dale Murphy reverse negative was up there. Yeah, that's one that I think is kind of tempered in desirability. The Billy Ripken FF card was there's plenty of them out there. I think that's kind of waned a little bit compared to from its height. There was a Pro Set hockey card of Paul Gillis with a bloody nose that was taken out of production because there was a bloody nose on it, and NHL didn't want to represent itself that way. It's like, I don't give a hoot about that card myself. Zero interest. CC calls out the 93 Jeter. That's probably actually the most valuable, even compared to the Jordan from 86 in a PSA 10.
Maybe in a 10, but a Thomas 10 sold for, somebody go look it up, but a Thomas 10 sold for like 300 grand, like a pretty big number.
Brent is just not into error cards. Me neither. Rarity based on error to me is just not interesting personally. Never was. I was never into the error cards, even back in 89, 90, 91. Wasn't.
I am. I love them. I love them. I think they're awesome.
Okay, let's keep on going. Here's a Shining Charizard first edition at $67.50. Here is a exquisite. I love this card. Exquisite LeBron James, numbered out of 100. One of my favorite LeBron cards from 2003, rookie year. Beautiful 2-color patch. Autograph is about 50% still there. So note that if you pick up this card, you are getting a card with, you know, the autograph is, I don't even know if it's half there. This is a terrible autograph. Like this is just to me, this is an ugly autograph on the card. That said, only have 100 people that can own this card, and this is going to get you in at a discount for sure. Adam, how do you feel about it?
You said it really well. The only thing that I'd highlight that you didn't highlight is that you only get this version of LeBron's autograph for 1 year. And so if I'm somebody like Brent, and I know Brent hates faded autographs. I've talked to him about it multiple times. He hates them. I do too. If you want the original LeBron format autograph, you've got to get one from this year. He didn't even sign very many of them this year. It's really only an exquisite. You get that format of autograph. This might be your very cheapest way to be able to get it.
Oh, there you have it. There you go. All right, let's see. We have 7 Panini Select Pelé autos right here. You can get 7 of them. They're all serial numbered 1 of 1. So 7 1-of-1 Pelé autos for $8,750. 2,000 Upper Deck Reserve Buyback MJ auto, 13 copies put out. This is a PSA 6. On the other end here, you've got a Jordan Star 101 autograph in a BGS 7.5, which is decent. This is actually, the vertical centering on this is better than I've seen for 8.5s even. The vertical centering. The side, the left to right centering is where they almost always are. You kind of want your card. I want my 84 Star 101 to have that centering. That gives me comfort. But that auto on there is beautiful. That auto is actually beautiful.
The biddings got down to under 10 a few times. It's worth watching that. But does this not have subs on it? That's a gorgeous card.
It's beautiful. I mean, this corner's rough. It's got a ding. It's got like a bend to it. You got a serious edge.
Oh yeah.
Lift right there.
Yep. Are there are subs on the back, right? Can we see the subs?
White? We'll have a look. White over there, white over here, edge chipping right there. But this card isn't about the edges and the corners, guys. This card is about that autograph. That's really what this is about. That's what's going to drive the value. And yeah, it's a 7.5. The autograph only comes in at a 9, which I think is laughable because the autograph is beautiful. Why is this autograph a 9? Why?
It's a perfect autograph.
It's an 11. Never mind. Why is it's an 11? Is it because maybe there's a little bit of ink right there, Adam? Is that some stray ink or something? But that's a surface issue to me, not an autograph issue. I don't know. It's a mark issue, not this autograph. What a steal this. If this is a discount because of either of these grades, yeah, I like it. I like it for what it is. Definitely do. Ken Griffey Jr., Mickey Mantle, dual auto. This is an iconic card. It comes in 3 versions, 2 autos or 1 auto of each player, $6,500 right now. The card is graded as authentic, but the autographs get a 9. And this is the kind of card where you pick it up when you can because you don't have a lot of shots at this card. And the autographs look good. Let's just open it up and see what's going on here, Adam. Okay, so the Mantle autograph is pretty perfect. The Griffey, I can see slight streaking right in here, but not bad enough that I would have felt the need to penalize the autograph. I don't know. I just don't like autograph grading overall. I just think it's silly.
Yeah. You and I have both talked about this a lot as far as autograph grading goes. I want to talk about this card for a second because this is another one that I had the chance to do some good research on. And I think that this is one of the most interesting cards out there after I sort of did the research. So let me take just a minute on this one, Jeremy. First thing you got to know about this card is, like Jeremy said, there's 3 different versions. There's a Mantle only, a Griffey only, and both of them together autograph. There's 3,000 total cards. They each signed 2,000 cards. One of them is together, and then the other 2 are separate, right? So what's really interesting is Mantle passed away within a year of the card coming out. So he only has this and a few other autographs that were pack inserted that came out just before this. But this is right at the beginning of the era where they did autographs in packs. So what has happened, Jeremy, is that a lot of people have taken a Mickey Mantle only signed card and they've gone to a show and they've had Griffey sign the card. I didn't know that until I started researching it. And what I discovered is that you want an autograph, at least this is how people in the community feel. I can't confirm this. I've never been a buyer of the card, but people in the community feel that when you get a card like this that has the Griffey auto where it looks like this, it looks a little bit, I don't want to say faded or streaky, but lighter. Like it's like a lighter, maybe faded, maybe streaky type autograph. That's what you want. That's what the Griffey autos should look like on the card. If you find one where the Griffey's really bold and like a deeper Sharpie, that's one that was likely signed at a show afterward. And so when I posted this, I had a few people send me messages and say, well, how can I tell which one it is? I don't know other than that point. I really don't. I have no idea. But I do think that it's worth sort of like digesting that and understanding it before you bid, because somebody asked me, he's like, was my card pack inserted? And I was like, yes, but there's a chance that half of the autographs that are on there, one of the two, came after the fact. And I think card collectors want to know that both autographs, I would think, if I was a buyer, I would want to know this, that both autographs came out before were on the card when it came out of the pack.
Yeah, that would be important to me as well. If there's a difference on the back of the card, if the back of the three versions of the card are all identical, I don't know that I care if it came out with the autograph on it or not, to be honest.
There isn't any difference. There's no difference at all. Michael Hathaway's got a great question.
Let me run through a few. I'm going to come to, give me 2 seconds here. I do have it marked. Will S says, personally don't like autos on non-auto cards, makes the photo busy. He's talking about the Star Jordan. And I certainly understand that take. I really do. Brendan Ryan says, looks like a habitual end dot on that Jordan Star auto. Wonder if any others were docked because of that. Michael Hathaway says, Adam, is there any truth to Upper Deck previously having a list referencing which holograms corresponded to dual autos versus single autos? And this speaks to what I was saying about the back of the card being identical or not. But Adam, do you have this information?
So Michael's question here, actually, there's some nuance and detail to it that's super interesting. So if in my research, what I discovered was that there was a belief that Upper Deck at one point made a claim that they had a specific list of the cert number that's on the hologram on the back and how that correlated with whose autographs were meant to be on the Griffey mantle, whether it was supposed to just be Griffey, just mantle, or both of them. But then after claiming that then they said, actually, we've lost the list. We don't have that ability anymore. That's what I read, but I couldn't find anything ever from Upper Deck that actually indicated that they had ever said that. Maybe it was just hearsay and that somebody sort of claimed that Upper Deck said that. I'm not really sure. I do know that at this point, it's more a matter of sort of like looking at the autographs themselves and trying to decipher them, which I know is not a perfect science. And that's honestly, Jeremy, it's probably why the card's not like significantly more valuable, because you think about its place in the history of the hobby. It's really important. Like you're talking about two of the greatest center fielders of all time and one who just passed away right after the card was made. Like it's a really neat card, but it stayed in this like sort of middle ground of value. And I think it's because collectors don't want to feel like they bought something that they don't know for sure came out of the pack that way.
Yeah, I totally get it. CC gets it too. Says, Adam, good info on the Mantle Griffey card. I have a Mantle only signed version, and I would not want to have Griffey sign my version. And I think that's a respectable take.
The best take that I love this take, CC. The best take that I heard, I loved. Somebody said to me, or said when I was like putting this together, they said, I would want to have a Griffey only and a Mantle only, because then I would know for sure that they were both pack inserted that way. I love that take. Personally, for me, I would want the dual, one that's up right now, because it's all on one card. And I think that's just really spectacular to have it all together. But I like the take.
Diamond Dog says, you can boo me for this hot take. I'm not kicking any Jordans out of bed, but I'm not taking out any loans to ever get one either. I think that's a pretty responsible position right there to take. Diamond Dog goes on to say, Nolan Ryan is a dog. IPC him and Reggie, two of my favorites as well. Diamond Dog, the Nolan Ryan documentary on Netflix was awesome. And I have both their rookie cards and love both those cards. Also says Reggie Nolan, two guys that could throw down and bet on themselves. Loved the mentality in baseball. Justin Bode, JB in the house. What's going on, Justin? Good to see you, pal. Okay, let's go. Let's keep on going. We're on page 3 at least. It's not like we're sitting on page 1 this whole time. We are still. I think we're in the 2-minute window still here. So we'll see, or maybe we're in the 1-minute window now.
We're in the ones. We're well
in the
ones.
1-minute window now. So the bids should be coming fast and furious. The half auto LeBron just got a bid. I saw Lamar Jackson's beautiful patch card got a bid. We have an unopened sealed case of Contenders football. First off the line, 2020. Shohei, our first Shohei card of the night. Blue refractor from Bowman Chrome. PSA or BGS 95, numbered out of 150, sitting at $10,000. Batting card, beautiful card, great autograph. And Peyton Manning, rookie ticket, Contenders ticket auto. You know, great card for a great Peyton Manning card. Really a great Peyton Manning card. Right there, as far as, you know, just its importance in the hobby, and you kind of get some of its importance because of the Brady from 2 years later. But let's just look. This autograph is always a little hard to see. It's always a little streaky. This is consistent with what we've seen before, and it's an 8. Okay. Next row, we have a Paulo Banchero Contenders Championship rookie auto ticket. PSA 7 to 1 of 1, sitting at $5,500. Dual auto Scotty and Michael Jordan SP Ultimate dual signatures, numbered out of 25, BGS 95. The autos are a 10, and a Connor McDavid Shield auto 1 of 1 from 2020. The Cup, sitting at $19,000. Adam, go to town on a couple of these cards at least.
I wish MJ and Scotty were getting along these days, right? It's too bad that they sort of have had this like very public.
I just want to say goodbye quickly, Adam. Michael Hathaway is going to hit. I just want to say thank you, Michael, for being. Michael is my co-host on Monday on MC Mondays live with me on Monday nights here on Sports Cards Live. A great mind, a great hobby mind. So thank you for joining us, Michael. Sorry to interrupt you, Adam. I just want to say goodbye to him.
And Michael, I saw that comment too. Michael had some awesome comments. The chat's been on fire tonight, guys. Chat has been one of the best nights for the chat. Please keep them coming. But on the 05, you know, I could talk about like the two of them not getting along or whatever. I wonder if we'll ever get another autograph card with both of these guys on them, both because they're both getting older, but also because they don't get along. They're not signing really anymore as much as they used to. And I wonder. I would also add, I think 05 Ultimate is really a spectacular design. It's one of the years of Ultimate that you look at and you know immediately what year it's from. It's got its own emblem. It's got its own sort of like look to it. And so, you know, if I was, and I kind of am in the market for like a big time Jordan autograph, like that's a really cool, Jeremy.
I'm with you on the 05 design, and it actually goes for the hockey as well. Beautiful design in hockey as well. And of course, the McDavid Shield autograph 1 of 1 from 2020 Cup. Yeah, really a great card. The card is authentically graded. The auto is a 10. All right, we have a couple of golds here. A gold Kaboom Brady and a Panini Prism Gold Brady from 2017. This is out of 10. They're both out of 10. Pop 2, Pop 3. The basic Prism is selling for more than double the Kaboom, yet the Kaboom to me pops a lot more than the Prism, just the way that the light reflects off the card. I don't know. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with this pricing, because the Prism is the more iconic brand, the more iconic card parallel than this insert. That said, this is pretty darn cool too. It's not his first Kaboom. I'll put that out there, but two pretty cool Brady cards. Both gold, both Prism, both out of 10. Any comments on these? Or not? They're not both Prism. This is absolute. Any comments on these, Adam?
I think the gold Kabooms are probably, we've talked about this, maybe they might end up being considered the insert of the Panini era, but I'm far more certain about the gold Prisms sort of like long-term view than I am the gold Kabooms. The gold Kaboom's a great looking card in person though. I love it. But if it was me, I would go with the Prism. The card that I was sort of like squinting at here a little bit is this really cool Barry Spectrum. Finite, that this year of 98 Finite's really interesting. I think a lot of people don't know this, Jeremy. It's the first, I believe I'm saying this right, it's the first base set where the entire base set was serial numbered ever made. And I think that's true in basketball and in the other sports. I think that's true. And so to see a spectrum of anybody from the set in any sport is always a big deal. To see a Barry, and I didn't notice it until now. I've looked through the auction several times, and for some reason this one slipped my view. To see this one now makes me go, oh, hey, that's pretty, like that's a, you and I talked about Barry a couple of times over the last few months, and I know some people like love Barry Sanders. This is a card that maybe isn't the best known because it's not a PMG, you know, it's not a credentials, but like one of one type collectors, they know this, they know the set, and this is it's a really cool card. If the Jordan of that card popped up, Jeremy, it would be a massive, massive event. I don't think we've ever seen it. I don't think it's ever hit publicly.
Wow. All right, let's go on to page 4 of the auction now. We'll skip right to the top, even though we'll go slow to the top and see what's down here as we make our way up. Lots of look at that Wilt.
There's some good ones on this page, Jeremy.
Jackie, the Connor, the rookie year Connor McDavid logos, limited logos, 33 Gaudy Babe Ruth to start us off in the middle here. PSA 3.5, beautiful copy, exceptional eye appeal rating. We've got a Josh Allen, National Treasure, Stars and Stripes out of 15. That would go nice with that Lamar we saw earlier. And you've got another Acuna, the Gold Refractor. This is out of 50, BGS 10 Pristine. These are all really cool cards. I like this the best. These cards, this is just one of the 4 Babe Ruth cards from the 33 Gaudy set, and this is it's a really nice copy. We could see, why is it only a 3.5? There must be something going on, but it looks really good from a distance. Corners, yeah, okay, I see it now. We've got some staining along the, or just not even, just I'll call it discoloration around the edges. Rounded corners, which I like. Registration is not bang on, definitely out of register here. Yeah, you can see it here and here as well. Outside of the registration, I love this copy. Like the corners and the edges, I think are perfect for the age of the card. This is a 90-year-old card. The registration would definitely be the one thing that would bother me the most, making his face a bit blurry, but what a beautiful card. The colors are really nice. And I do agree with the eye appeal assessment on this one, despite the out of focus face here. Anything you'd like to say about these 3, Adam?
Well, real quick on the Ruth, you and I have looked at this card registration, I don't know how many times, 5 or 6 times probably over the years. And I don't think we've found one yet where we've been like, wow, the registration's nice, which tells me it might just be an issue with all the cards. The one that I will highlight here might surprise you a little bit, and that's the Josh Allen, the Stars and Stripes. I got to hold a lot of RPAs in my hands when I was doing the PWCC videos. The Stars and Stripes have a different feel than the rest of the NTs. I know some people don't like all the parallels, but if you're an aesthetics guy, this is one that I would go look at the 360 and look at the holofoil around the window, throughout the card, and then the acetate finish. It feels more like an immaculate card than an NT card does in some ways. But it's really, really pretty. It's a really nice card.
Yeah. And I love the acetate coating. I think it's that, to me, it is an acetate coating, is it not?
Yeah, it is.
And that's sets it completely of that elevates this National Treasures parallel above all other National Treasures RPAs for me, for sure. So we have the Acuna Gold Refractor here. We have the Acuna Orange Refractor here, numbered out of 25, selling for just a little bit more than the card that has double the print run, but this is a BGS 9.5. This is a BGS 10 up here. PMG Tracy McGrady 97. This is the really cool design precious metal gems from the championship set, I believe. Really nice copy here. It's a PSA 10. That seems too good to be true in a way. Like, when do we see PSA 10 97, or do we see a lot of them for this type of card, Adam? You know better than I do.
We don't see them a ton, but I've seen, I don't know, maybe 10 of them through the years that are either BGS 9.5 or PSA 10 holders. And part of it is because the last 5 cards in the set weren't pack inserted, but they were via redemption. that may be what's happened here. I don't know. Somebody else can look at the back and see what the serial number is on it for us. That would be great, because if we click on it, then we lose bandwidth and we can't talk to you guys for a minute. But the other, I mean, so I own the Jordan from this set. My Jordan's a 9, right? And so there's a lot of cards that are like 8.5, 9, 8s in this set, whereas the PMG reds and greens, that would really make your eyebrows go really up if you see a PMG red that's a PSA 10. That doesn't happen. But on this, honestly, Jeremy, I look at that and I kind of go, wow, that's an awesome card. I don't get nervous about it on this card. I really don't. What I do think is, oh my goodness, this card is a beautiful card, and McGrady never is in the Premier. I think this is probably the first McGrady we've ever had in the Premier, and so it's cool to see. It's the right card, because it's this and the PMG red and green. Those are the cards that you would see in the Premier auction, and so it's really cool.
It is cool, yeah. And when I said too good to be true, I didn't mean like it is actually too good to be true. I just meant like it seems like,
oh yeah.
Like, but you never know, I suppose. But it looks like that's a nice condition for this card. We have a 98 Bowman Chrome Golden Anniversary Ken Griffey Jr. Refractor PSA 8, 5 copies made. Pop 2, 1 graded higher. For the discerning Griffey collector right here, I would have to say the broad collector, pretty cool looking card. You got anything to say about that?
I don't know what the story is on this. I don't remember these. Like, is it numbered out of 5 on the back? Was it pack inserted out of 5? Like, this, a card from the 90s that's out of 5 is a huge deal. I saw it when we were, I saw it a couple of weeks ago when it first went up, but like, what's the story on it? Do you know anything else about it?
I do not know. Let's keep on rolling, though. Before we do, very quickly, Brendan Ryan says, surprising how many people are ripping Series 1 Upper Deck Hockey chasing the Bedard SSPs. No one told them that his young gun is in Series 2. Yep, that card is going to swiftly decline from the initial sales values there we're seeing. Diamond Dog says, finally got my kid to bed. Now I can turn up the brightness on my phone. Been looking at these cards like a damn pilgrim the last hour. So that was kind of funny. Nick Leach, Adam, he wants to know, is that Kobe Logo Man game used? It is. Adam gives the thumbs up to it. Rage says, I agree. The chat is cooking for sure. Having a blast. Thanks, Rage. Good to have you here having a blast. All right. Connor McDavid, rookie year, limited logos, BGS 9.5. This is a big card. $26,000. That's big money. Only 50 of his rookie year limited logos, fewer than his true RPA from the set, which is out of 99, his gold version out of 97, I think, or was it out of 12 when they did that year? I'm actually not sure, but this is the limited logos. It's out of 50. And what more can I say? It's Connor McDavid. We have a Michael Jordan here, Adam, SPX winning materials from the year 2000, dual patch auto. Auto's a 10, card graded a 9. Looks like it's SPX, which is still the Upper Deck still makes SPX cards. Pretty, good brand there. Not a top brand. It's not exquisite or SP Authentic or Ultimate, but it's in that next tier, I'd say. Adam, is this an important Michael Jordan jersey auto card from the year 2000?
I actually have a story to tell about this real quick. I remember in 99, so just the year before this, there were people who were opening SPX like crazy. And it was because they put winning materials, the dual game used set. First time they put it in one per case. And I remember one guy I worked at a card shop at the time. A guy named Mike walked in and he opened a whole case starting with the first box. And you know what he was doing? He was buying the boxes until he got the winning materials, and he didn't pull it until the very last box. And he pulled a Karl Malone. And I live in Utah. You would think that would be a good thing. And I remember he just was swearing like crazy because he was so mad that he didn't get a guy like Jordan. This card back then would have been unbelievable, right? It's not serial numbered, which is sort of one of those things that people look at and they go, well, how can it be serial numbered? It's a Jordan autograph. All Jordan serial number, or all Jordan autographs are serial numbered. This one's not, and it's from, it's 23 years old. So it's really a unique case, but I would encourage anybody to go look at the pop report, see how many of them there are. There aren't a lot. I don't know what the exact numbers are. And yeah, so it's not his first winning materials autograph, but it's pretty exquisite. And to me, like, that's the era that I love most in collecting. And so, you know, I want a Jordan that's like from this range. What I'd really like to get, Jeremy, is the Shoe Time autograph that we saw up 3 or 4 months ago on our show here. I want to get one of those for my collection. I think that would be really cool. But this is in that same vein, maybe just not quite as cool, but really, really cool card.
Thank you for that. We've got a 48 leaf Jackie Robinson rookie card, SGC 6. You know, this is my favorite sports card, pretty much hands down. And let's take a look at it. Centering is good. It's good to great, but not like out of this world. But it's good for the issue for sure. Side to side, top to bottom is better than side to side. The yellow, I think, is tempered a little bit. I feel like I've seen copies where the yellow pops a bit more. This does have a lot of little pieces of like the cardboard fiber almost kind of coming through, where you're seeing a lot of it here in the hat, in the yellow as well. But the registration is really good. No real blurriness in the eyes. I'm seeing a little bit of the red plate coming over there, the magenta a little bit, but really this is really a nice copy of the card overall. Edges, corners all look really good for what it is. Yeah, it's a really, really nice copy, I would say. On that one, let's keep on going. The Nike promo Jordan PSA 10 at $9,250 also has the NBA gold diamond sticker on it as well. I had Mike Baker himself on Sports Cards Live, my Saturday show, a few weeks ago. Check that out if you didn't. That was a great episode. He was a great guest. We also brought on his partner Damien for a bit. We had a great episode, a very popular episode. Check that out. We've got the 61 Fleer SGC 88 Wilt Chamberlain. I looked at this one before the show, Adam. You know, I like to see if there's how the registration is on these cards. It's, you know, anybody can really assess edges and corners, right? Anyone can assess registration too, but there's certain things to look for on certain cards. And this one, top edge looks clean. Left and right edge does have like an O-Pee-Chee type rough cut to it. But look at the registration. I always go to the armpit. This one is almost like, I think it's basically perfect right there. No white coming in between his armpit, his arm, and the background here. Also, a little bit of white right there, but it's like super minor. Really good registration. The Warrior himself looks super clean. Like, that's where I look to for the registration purposes. Card looks great. Edges being kind of the only thing that might hold somebody back, but to me, they're beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So great copy right there. And SGC 10, we've seen Tom Brady's before. This is the SP Authentic out of $1,250. SGC 10, a very strong grade for the card, sitting at $19,000. Adam, any comments to you on any of these? I would expect you to speak to the basketball cards, but what do you think of the Jordan? What do you think of the Wilt?
We've looked at a lot of Wilts. That registration on that one looks just about as nice as any that we've seen. It's not shocking to see the top 15% on there. The Jordan's really an interesting card because it's one that we haven't talked about a lot. It's sort of like, feels like one that a lot of people know about, but you know, that is when we talk about iconic images, Jeremy, that it almost is incredible that the card exists, that it was made almost 40 years ago. It's got the Jumpman on it. And how many PSA 10s are there of the card? There's not that many. It's not a huge number. And, you know, it's one of the better copies of even in a PSA 10. I think it's cool. If it was me and I was looking at these three cards to bid on, for me, it's no question the Chamberlain. The Chamberlain's just unbelievable. I love that card.
I love that card as well. I have a painting of it. I have a painting of 16 cards in my rec room. In all of sports cards, and the Chamberlain is one of them. This Jordan, the Nike promo, it's a pop 171 in PSA 10. So it's fewer copies of that than his Fleer 86 Fleer rookie card.
A lot fewer, yeah. A lot.
Couple comments quick. Diamond Dog says, this is my first time joining the live chat. It's been fun. Glad I stopped in. Good vibes and topics. Thank you, Diamond Dog. Good vibes and topics. That's the nicest thing you could say right there. Now it's time for some gin and juice. Very good. Very good. Joe says 100% on the 97 PMG Championship serials, 46-50 were the redemption ones, Adam, as you said. The Grady is 34-50, but a more realistic grade, in my opinion, in today's PSA would be a 9 for Edgeware. Well, thanks for opining on that, Joe. Appreciate that. Okay, next row, Adam. Kobe Bryant, Panini Contenders Historic Championship ticket. This is a 1 of 1 with the, it's a 1 of 1. It's at $13,000. It's a BGS 9. The autograph's a 10. You know, this is cool because you've got so much going on in the card. You basically have a Kobe Bryant, what could be a Kobe Bryant card just in this gold section here. Yeah. Right? You got the full body shot, the 1-of-1 stamp right there. He's got those eyes of fire, the Mamba mentality happening. You can see it. You got a nice area for the autograph, and then you've got the ticket information, the ticket graphics right there. This card has a lot going for it. I think it's really nice. What do you think? It's a 1 of 1 too, Adam. Seems low at 13,000 for me. Is this just not a card that a lot of people in the basketball world like?
Well, here's what I'd say about it. People love autograph on chrome surfaces. We talked about that earlier. And we talked about how Bowman does some of the best. Like, this surface is pretty awesome. This card's gorgeous. The thing that holds this one back in terms of value is that it's not a playing days card.
Say again?
It's not a playing days card.
Yeah.
So if it was made 2 years prior and people could look at it and say, oh, that was from Kobe's, I think the word that people sometimes use is canon. If it was from his like literally from 96 to 2015, I think it would probably be worth a lot more money. But still, like, if you're in the market for a 1 of 1 of Kobe Bryant autograph that's gorgeous, like, it's hard to imagine you're gonna get one for a better price than what this one's sitting at right now.
Pretty cool. Another Acuna, another Bowman Acuna. This is the blue refractor out of 150, PSA 10, pop 14, sitting at 72.50. And we have a 2000 Upper Deck Gold Reserve Tom Brady rookie out of 2,500 in a PSA 10 holder, pop 19, sitting at $8,125. Decent looking card right there. Next row, 2005 SP Game Used SP Authentic. No, SP Game Used Authentic Fabrics Michael Jordan, 23 copies produced. You got white jersey with mesh, numbered 15 to 23. Autograph is graded a 10. The card is graded a 10. The auto looks a little light to me. I want to just go in and have a look. See, this is the problem with autograph grading. It's graded a 10 here, but that autograph is certainly suboptimal, Adam. 100%. That is not a 10 autograph. And that's one of the key issues I have with autograph grading. So it's still a Jordan autograph, really cool looking card, great headshot of Michael. It's actually more than the headshot. It's just that's the clearest part, but you see the rest of his shoulders here in these sections of the card right there. The Game Used jersey with mesh, only 23 copies. What do you think of it?
I think your question about it being a 10 autograph is spot on. It's not like, we were looking at that LeBron earlier and that Steph Curry. It's not like those, right? It's not one of those, but it is not optimal. I agree with you. And so it begs the question, did it fade before or after the grid, right? Was it like a 10 autograph that was slabbed and then the lights got into it and now it's no longer 10? That's something that people have to consider when they're placing their bids. The thing that I've seen one of these in person, the thing that I like about this, I remember seeing it on the one that I saw, is you see the serial number there on the bottom right. That's one of those elements that you see in person. The Upper Deck just got right. They holofoiled so many of their serial numbers. And once you notice it on a card in hand, Jeremy, I don't know if you feel the same way. Once I noticed it on a cards in hand, I sort of now always look at holofoil, always look at cards that have holofoil and have serial numbers that are in regular foil. And it always, to me, just kind of bugs me a little bit. I want the highest end cards that have holofoil to also have their serial numbers in holofoil. So they got that part right on this card.
Yeah, makes sense to me for sure. I'm with you on that. 1999 Flair Showcase Legacy Collection Row 2, Derek Jeter, 1 of 1, PSA 7. Cool card. I mean, that's all. I'll just kind of leave it at that. 1 of 1 masterpiece. It's not just a 1 of 1. It's a 1 of 1 masterpiece. Really cool, which is just branding more than anything, but it's still cool. I think there's people who really like those 1 of 1 masterpieces. And we've got a 97 Skybox Premium Kobe Bryant. This is the Golden Touch. Very popular, very cool looking insert from 97 Skybox Premium. The Jordan card is a beast of a card. Well, you showed your magazine?
When I interviewed Jean, I was talking to you about that earlier.
Yeah.
I asked her what her favorite card was and what she wanted to put on the cover, and she went with the Jambalaya. Her second set that she said she loved putting together with Earl was the Golden Touch set.
Golden Touch. That's very cool. Jean McLeod of Arena Design being the lady who designed a lot of the iconic 90s inserts. And she's been on Sports Cards Live with me, and met her in lovely lady. 2019 Impeccable Victory Platinum Kobe Bryant Auto, 1 of 1, non-playing days, as you said, but this is at $36,000 right now, Adam. Non-playing days. Cool image of him, really cool image of him celebrating. Like, yeah, he just did something big, just happened in this picture. Great autograph across the top there. Why is this selling for $36K, Adam, when we saw this 1 of 1 at 13, which I think this is a nicer card, to be honest. I think I like this card better than this card.
You're asking such a good question, and I it's going to take me a second to get there, but I really want to talk about this. So the Chromium card that we just looked at, the Contenders card, it is a really nice card. There's no question. It also sort of gets, I don't want to say it kind of gets lost a little bit in the other cards that are like it. The Impeccable card is, along with, I only have one Kobe card that's not a playing days card, and it's a noir spotlight signature that I think a lot of people have seen, where Kobe is not facing the hoop, he's facing away from the hoop, and it just has an aesthetic to it that I think everybody who's seen it is drawn to it. It's got a whole fan base behind it. This card kind of is like that as well. This was one of the last cards that Kobe signed before he passed away. It was a redemption card, and people received this in the mail after he passed away. There's a few different variations of it, but this image of Kobe is right after beating the Suns after a game-winning shot, and it's an iconic image. It's like legitimately one of his best autograph cards post playing days, and the fact that it's the 1 of 1 variation is a huge deal. So you can look at the gold. I wouldn't even mind if somebody looked at the gold like you just did and said, I like the way this looks more than the Impeccable. I disagree. I like the Impeccable the most. I think it's just an incredible card. But because of the card that it is, because of the image and the set and sort of the storytelling around it, I think the Impeccable is like a way nicer card. And then I think the other thing is the Contenders sometimes has multiple variations. I don't even know whether that Kobe has multiple variations. Like if there's 10 different cards that each have 1 of 1, or each have like their own 1 of 1, but this Impeccable is not like that. This is the 1 of 1 of that card. And the 1 out of 3, Jeremy, just sold for $30-something thousand.
Wow.
So
we've had some people are speaking up about it, and there's one comment especially, like Zach says Impeccable is underrated, but Nick Leach here says it's one of his last signed cards, and that might be part of the deal there, part of the reason.
Yeah, that's what I said. Like it's like right before he passed away, he signed the card.
Yeah, I think that's probably important. Zach Swisher says the Contenders is paper, which is another potential knock against it, but it's just such a pretty looking card to me. Antilytic says that is one of Kobe's most iconic moments when he hit the game winner against the Suns in the playoffs. So that's huge too, right? Like the image is often underrated on cards. How does the card look? How is the image? How pretty is the card? Not the design, not the foil, but the picture of the player itself. And that's a good call out there by Antilytics, and welcome to the show. Then Brendan says, I would think the 1-on-1 Kobe would be a 6-figure card. Did you have something else you want to add, Adam?
Yeah, I do. I think this is important. So if that image was accompanied with a card that had come out the year after, or a couple years after, while he was still in the league, like I think the moment happened in call it 2000, I don't know, like 2008, 2007, somewhere in there. Let's say that the card then came out in 2009 or 2008 or 2010, something like that. Then this would be an all-timer card. It would be an all timer. But because it came out after, like so much after his career, that's what makes it not in that same sort of area.
So I just know, and back to which comment was it? Yeah, Antilytics. I just noticed that this card is basically game dated. Like it says right here, April 30th, 2006, Lakers 99, Suns 98 in overtime. That is a beautiful thing for a card to have, in my opinion, to really like pin it to a moment, and the picture from it as well. I can see there being value attributed because of that. So that's really cool. We've got a 2003 Topps Chrome sealed box. I mean, that's a big box right there. LeBron rookies, among others, right there. And then we have a Carl Yastrzemski PSA 9 Topps rookie from 1960, a beautiful card at $17,250. I want to open it up just because the centering, you know, PSA's centering standards are quite loose, and you can see that this is definitely off center, top to bottom. Right to left looks great. Top to bottom, though, much wider at the bottom, but probably even within their 10 centering standards, never mind 9. So a beautiful card, and I love the Yaz rookie. Really nice copy of that card right there. And to finish off, page 4, Vince Carter, Molten Metal Fusion Titanium?
I just call it the Fusion Gold.
Just the Fusion Gold. Thank you. Numbered out of 40. Amazing card right there. Like an absolutely stunning card. Tua, his National Treasures RP at a 99. And we've got the Black Lotus Magic the Gathering in a CGC 10 holder at 32,000. But this card is my favorite card of the row here, Adam. You know, whatever the silver version of this card is, that's usually out of a higher number, it's a titanium. They're cool. They're really nice. But the gold is nicer. Like it takes it for me to a whole other level. And like I used to have the Shaquille in the silver, but I didn't love it. So I moved it. But I would love the gold. I would love it. I have the Cal Ripken Jr. of this card in gold. And it's one of my favorite cards, one of my favorite baseball cards. And it's like, I'm just going to keep it because it's gorgeous. This is awesome. Vince Carter out of 40. What do you want to say?
It's the only set that ever serial numbered the card by cutting the serial number out of the card. You combine that with the pinholes that make the player's image when you hold it up to the light. And the other thing that's kind of cool on this, Jeremy, is it's actually a Vince rookie card. This is his rookie year.
That's huge. That's it. Just makes it a huge card. All right, page 5 now. Oh, look at all the blue. Everything's been getting bid since we were here, but that makes sense because we haven't been here yet. Wow, we still got lots of cards still, and the clock. Like, listen, this auction is we're only 2 hours and 15 minutes into extended bidding. We usually go 3.5 hours. So even though the clock is gone, we've seen 0 a couple times. That's just a timing thing. That's just registering the bids in the background and resetting the clock. We could be going for another hour here, maybe not, but we'll see. Giannis orange Prism orange rookie sitting at 8,375 out of 60. We have the gold in the auction as well. So here's a more affordable version of a 2013 Giannis Prism rookie. We've got the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Lou Alcindor, 69 Topps rookie in a PSA 8, a great card. And the Bond bred Jackie Robinson from 1947. You know, this is earlier than 48 Leaf, but because it's a food issue, it's not really considered to be a rookie card. But I could see this card, I think it's already gaining in popularity and perceived importance. I could see it continuing to gain in both of those as time goes by here. Really cool looking. It's black and white. I prefer a color card, but it's still really cool. Great image of him, like a nice clear shot. You see exactly what he looks like here. Really cool. Hey, Adam, it's a 23,000 PSA 6, exceptional eye appeal rating, pop 16, 20 higher. So rare, but you can find them. And there's another one down here, a PSA 4 version. I'm just going to roll down to it right here. It is not PSA, SGC 4 copy here. Actually, I'm going to open these side by side because I think I'm noticing a big color difference in the two. There's the SGC4, and there's the PSA 6. See, look at the difference.
Which one do you like more?
Oh, I like the darker one better with more color to it. Yeah, I like this one better. Centering side to side, this one's off. They're almost the same centering, actually. Almost the same, not exactly, but yeah, I think I prefer the SGC4. I mean, corners are slightly rounded. The 6 has better corners, but you know, I don't mind the slight rounded corners from cards from this era. I would I think for the money, I would save the money and pick up the SGC4. Look at the baseball hat, though. There's something weird going on in this baseball cap here. All these markings where the 6 doesn't have those. It's got some, but not nearly as many.
I was just going to say that the pieces on the 6 look like they might actually be part of the card too, whereas that it's not like, it's probably not a scratch. Maybe it is a scratch on the 4. I wouldn't have. You were pretty strong on the contrast. You like the contrast more. I get that. I can see it. I think the centering, the difference in centering is a little bit more significant than you were saying. I think the centering on the 6 is quite a bit better than the 4.
I don't actually. I think so side to top to bottom. Top to bottom, I think the 4 is better centering. Have a look, okay? And I'll go back. Look at the top. I mean, it just seems like it's...
You're right. I agree.
Side to side on the 4. I mean, I'm going to switch back here. I think this has some tilt too, some clockwise tilt on the PSA 6 here. But this might have some tilt as well. Yeah, I think they're close. Yeah, as Nick says, centering not great on either. He agrees the SGC looks better. Adam, I don't know if I've lost you, but you're definitely frozen right now. I think we lost Adam. Okay, we're going to wait for Adam to get back in here, perhaps. Maybe his phone or his computer died. In the meantime, I'm going to just keep on going down to the next row here. 2 Willie Mays 51 Bowmans, one of my favorite cards. I own a copy of this myself. I have a gorgeous 4, probably comparable to this one here, if not even a bit nicer. Let's open up both copies of this and compare these ones side to side. We'll close up the Jackie Bond Breads. We'll look at the 5.5. I mean, this thing is nice. It's got a slight print line right here, which I try to avoid on this. I avoided on this card. It's one of my biggest pet peeves. The registration on this thing is stunning. Look at the image of his face here. This is a beautiful color. The registration is perfect. I'm seeing a slight fisheye right there, but it's buried in the black roof, so you can't hardly see it. You got a fisheye right here on the name bar. Not so bad. They're very common. Centering is awesome. And then let's go take a look at the 4. The 4 has, so the color isn't as nice. It's definitely got some surface wear up in here. You can see several fisheyes and snow effect on the name bar here. Surface issue right there. The centering is good. Not great, not perfect, but the centering is good. This card is definitely inferior to the 5.5, but it doesn't have the print line, I don't think. It does not have you often see the print line here, or you see it also over here. This does not have the print lines, which for me is, you know, a tick in the pro column, but the surface has some significant wear, fisheyes all over the name bar, which that does bother me. I would not want that copy because of what's going on in the name bar here. I don't know. I might, yeah, the 5.5 I think is definitely the copy that I would take. And I might even overlook the print line because it's very faint. We often see it much more pronounced. Let's just see. Adam just texted me. What does he say? Internet just went out. We'll be back as soon as I can. Okay, we'll wait for him to come back. Yeah, Nick says the 5.5 is definitely better. Jordan Riker says the auction is over. The auction is over. The auction is over. Thank you, Jordan, for letting me know as I was looking at those Willie Mays cards. And those have sold. 19.5 on the 5.5, 12 on the 4. A 56 Mantle does 21.6. The Herbert Disco Prism one. We didn't even get to look at these cards, but that's what happens in such a big auction. Lamar, the Black Lotus does 11.1. The Herbert Shield does 20,400. Connor McDavid Exquisite RPA does 18.6. Beautiful card. Love that card. Joel Embiid, 7,500. Evan Carter, 11,250. There's a Messi, Neymar, Ronaldo signatures. I'm not sure what's going on with that card. Paulo Banchero. Here comes Adam. Adam, the auction is over now, by the way. It just ended, but caught me by surprise. I was analyzing the Willie Mays, and Jordan Riker was like, auction over? And yep, the auction's over.
Crazy. Well, I'm sad that I missed it. I don't know what's going on with my internet. I'm on my phone now, but
well, we only missed you for you're only a couple of minutes, so no big deal.
Okay.
I'm just kind of going through the cards that we didn't look at on this page very quick. Clemente BVG 8 does 13.8. The Lillard Prism Gold Rookie 21.6. Charizard first edition Shadowless Hollow PSA 9 does 15.6. Okay, so we can go back now and see what everything sold for from page 1. Let's see what happened here. I'm going to scroll to the top, and we'll just kind of run through these, Adam. And is there anything else you'd like to mention before I start this process?
No, I think my internet might have just come back on, so I might switch back. But you just mentioned the Lillard sold for 21.6. I think that one at its high was like 120 or 140. So it just goes to show how much, especially those rookies in the gold prisms, even those have really come down so much.
Wow. Yeah.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. Okay, so the Kobe SI for kids does 30,600. The very nice Jordan PSA 10 192. These now include buyer premiums, everybody. The beautiful PSA 8.5 Hank Aaron rookie does $120,000. Rookie ticket, championship ticket, Tom Brady out of 100, $216,000. It's gonna get rid of your other piece there, Adam. The Pelé 66K, the 1/1 Luka 100, it shot up to 144.
Yeah, we thought that it was going to. I mean, Luka's probably in a tougher spot right now to talk about than he has been because people are so unsure about the Mavs. But like, bottom line, think about the value that guy has in the world of basketball, Jeremy. I mean, that guy has been, in a lot of ways, been sort of like anointed as the next guy. And if that's going to be the case, this is one of his best cards. And so I'm glad to see that. I'm glad to see that hit that number.
Does that change with Victor Wembanyama? I mean, when I see this guy, I mean, he makes basketball look like when I play on my 4-year-old's little hoop that comes up to my knees. Like, the guy can dunk from the free throw line. It's like, and I don't mean flying through the air. I mean, he can reach the net from the free. I've never seen a player like this before. He makes Kevin Durant look like a shrimp. Like, it's crazy. What does he do to the Giannis's and the Lukas and, Zion if he ever reaches what they thought he would be?
Well, if there are people who think that Luka is going to be more like Jordan, Kobe, LeBron, and if Wembanyama is Shaq, then you'd still rather be invested in Kobe, LeBron, and MJ. The big guys, even if he's like super athletic and stuff, the big guys just never hold the same like love in terms of collectability. They just never do. And so, and now having said that, I very much have doubts whether Luka will be that guy. But Nick Leach's point, Luka's the best offensive player in the NBA. I'm not going to disagree with it, and it's been like that for a while, man. He can do anything.
All right, let's keep on rolling here. The Acuna goes for $78K, the red refractor. The Giannis Prism Gold, $60,000. The Tiger Woods SP Authentic Limited Gold does $72K.
The Giannis Gold, to me, Jeremy, is a number where I'm like that. My eyes open real big on that. That's a lot lower number than I would have guessed.
Yeah. There's a lot of things. There's uncertainty in the world right now, I think. The black gold Luca, 96K. The Trout, the 43.2. The Josh Allen, the NTRPA, the Hollow Silver does 14,100. The Jambalaya, slightly less than what mine sold for a couple of months ago, $48,000. I think mine did 54. This one does 48. The Acuna here, 15.3. The Mega Crack Soccer, 10.8. Beautiful PSA 5. Mantle 51 Bowman rookie does 28.8. The Curry rookie with the really bad auto does 10.2. The Giannis NT RPA, 66,000. So the NT does 66 and the gold does 60. And despite the auto and the patch, I still do prefer this card. This one also is at a 99, so that kind of hurts it on that. So
I would say, just let me say on that real quick. The 99 has the very rare 3-color jersey. Go back and look at that patch real quick, if you would, Jeremy. That does make a pretty big deal because Giannis is a card that doesn't have a lot of 3 colors. And isn't it a 9.5? Yeah, it's like super high grade for an NT. It's like one of the nicest patches that's out there. But don't let this fool you. In general, I think people would like, if this was an average NT and an average gold, I think the gold's more sought after at this point. But you're looking at wasn't gold a 9? I think it's a 9, right? And this is like one of the nicer NTRPAs. So it sort of makes sense to me in this situation.
Yeah. I hear it. The gold is a strong card. That's kind of what I'm saying. The gold is it's a great card for sure. I
also would rather have the Giannis gold than the RPA, to be clear. I would.
Yeah, me too. This Trout here, the Bowman Chrome rookie auto, 9,900. 30K for this the Topps Chrome Refractor LeBron James PSA 10. 30K. You could have bought his non-refractor for about 45K at the peak. So this is a steal compared to back then, but times are definitely different. The regular Tiger Woods SP Authentic rookie does 26.4. Andre the Giant 9.5, 23,400. Luca Fast Break Black, Optic Fast Break Black, 1 of 1, 15,900 with the very beautiful Lulu autograph. Mahomes Contenders Ticket Auto does 19.8. There's page 1 for you. So really interesting stuff. A couple comments here. Nick Leach, I agree. Not sure how they're going to mesh. Actually, I don't know. That's about Will S. Says, big question. How will Lillard mesh? Right. No idea how that team will do this year. 4x4 Rubicon. What did the Barry Sanders 1 of 1 finite sell for? Let's go see if we can find that one quickly. I think that was on page 4, maybe page 3. Let's try page 3. Where was that guy? Maybe on page. Maybe it was down here. I feel like we just looked at that recently, Adam. Nope. Let's see. There we go. $5,100 for the Barry Sanders 1 of 1 Rubicon. Brent says, yeah, Brent is questioning the clock. Brent, I think you're kind of going down a rabbit hole that doesn't exist there. I don't think there's anything fishy going on with that. I think it's just the way the technology is. The clock isn't caught up to the bids as they come.
One thing I always do.
Sorry, go ahead, Adam.
This is a comment for anybody who's following in the late stages. When Jeremy's talking, you might see me sort of go and be looking at something. What I'm doing is I'm sorting by most recent bids. And that's really helpful because you can see which cards are actually getting those bids that are making the auction continue on. And so I would suggest anybody, who watches this in the future, hit that same sort button and sort of follow what keeps it alive. We've had times, Jeremy, where literally 1 to 2 cards keep the auction going for 20 to 30 minutes afterwards because there's 2 people who are fighting and they're just going up 1 bid at a time. Yeah,
for sure. We have definitely seen it. The professor is here, says, Excellent discussion on the 98 Skybox Molten Metal Fusion. Vince Carter went for 78. Did you buy that card, Professor? Professor often buys cards during the shows. Wonder, did you buy that or did you buy anything, I wonder?
So for the Professor, my favorite Michael Jordan card is that same set. I own the Jordan BGS 9 from that set. Our friend Joe, who I don't know if he's in here anymore, he was definitely in here earlier. He owns several cards from that set. There's a group of us that sort of feel like that's one of the real interesting sets of the whole.
Brent won the Vince Carter.
Well,
Professor looks like Professor was the underbidder on it.
Very cool.
Very cool. Very cool. All right. Well, anything else you'd like to discuss, Adam? Looks like this one's going to end about an hour earlier than they usually do.
Did you sorted by? I don't think you sorted by most expensive. Can you do that?
No, I was by featured the whole time.
But here now that we're done, that would be really cool.
Yeah, smart. Thank you for that suggestion. Let's see. Okay. So the Brady Contenders Champ ticket, 216. The Jordan PSA 10, 192. The Luca 101, 144. The Hank, 120. Mm-hmm. I mean, we used to do this and there'd be like 5 cards over $1 million or 2 or 3 over $1 million. Now we've got how many over 100,000? We only had 4 cards over 100,000. It used to be the whole first page was over 100,000. So
look at how many we have over 50.
Yeah, not half a page. 3, 6, 9, 12 over 50K.
Is that all? Well, that's less than I would have thought.
Yeah.
Brent
also dropped the Durant Roy logo, man. That
what?
Also, yeah.
Seriously?
That's what he says.
That's a huge ad. What did that go for? Is that like 40 or 50?
Well, let's see. Let's go on.
I think it's on
2.
I thought it was on the first page. Is it on the second page?
I don't think I saw it on the first page. There it is. 33.9.
Wow. That's a huge card. That's a huge card, Brent.
He doesn't even name Chris Paul on his message there. He leaves Chris Paul out of the post.
I think he's saying Roy because he means rookie of the year. He's not talking about Brandon Roy. I think he's saying
no. He is talking about Brandon Roy because he said earlier in the night he said my boy Brandon Roy.
Well, maybe you're right. I didn't see that comment.
He is.
I thought he was saying the Durant Rookie of the Year logo, man, which is how I would have talked about it. But anyway, it doesn't matter.
Maybe not. I'm curious. What are you talking about, Brent? We want to know.
I was going to do a reel on this card, Brent. This is one I literally actually have it written up. I was going to do it. I was going to do the whole thing. I had the whole script written. I did the whole thing. And then I was like, oh, man, I just didn't have time. I didn't have time to pull it off in the end. But, that I'm not a big logo man guy. I'm not when it doesn't have the autographs. But that is one that I love because of the story behind it. How many people in the world can say they own a logo man card, triple logo man with the last 3 rookie of the years? That might be the only one in the whole world.
Well, he does say Blazer fan, love point guard also. So
Chris Paul
for 110 last time, and he picked it up for 34K.
Wow.
Yeah.
Deep value.
Crazy stuff. All right. Well, I think we can wrap this up, Adam.
It's been a blast. I would just say maybe this. Oh, hey, my buddy Joe's saying much love to you as well, my friend. The chat tonight, Jeremy, was as good as it's ever been, man. It was fantastic, and we missed Karn tonight. We're a better show, I think, when we have Karn here. But I just had a blast with you tonight, and I had a blast with the chat. It was a great auction.
Karn wouldn't have even made it. He usually comes on now, so even if he was able to make it tonight, he probably wouldn't even have made the show.
Do you think some people missed out because they waited too long?
I don't think so. Because no, I don't think so. Oh, Zach Swisher. Sorry, I did have a couple of comments I didn't get to. Yeah, hold on 1 second here, Adam. If you don't mind.
Sure.
I did have that comment. So hold on 1 second here.
I'm planning on another half an hour, Jeremy. That's how we roll.
So first, Zach asked this question. Adam, wondering if you're aware of the game night jersey set in the new Noir basketball. LeBron has finals game used patch card for the Heat when they played the Spurs. Thought you would enjoy. So
I would. I didn't know about it, but I need to check it out. That sounds awesome.
And then he said, also love to get your guys' take on Tim Duncan signing for Panini after a 20-year layoff. Yeah, I think we all probably saw that news. I saw that news today, signing for Panini. So we might, this might be the unlicensed. It might be similar to Michael Jordan signing for Upper Deck in street clothes and that kind of thing. What are your thoughts on this, Adam? What does that mean?
So I've seen a pattern with this sort of situation in the past. We've seen it with like. We've seen it with a lot of different athletes we can talk about. Basically, anybody who played in the 90s and signed for a while and then didn't sign and then came back again. Charles Barkley, Kevin Garnett, Karl Malone, like a lot of these guys. What usually happens, this is just how I've seen it in the past. What usually happens is people who own the cards from back in the day get nervous that the guy's going to sign a whole bunch more and their old stuff's going to decrease in value. And so a bunch of people list the old stuff right away, which is the stupidest thing ever because people don't collect old autographs because they're autographs. People collect the old autographs because of the cards they are. But in the process of flooding the market, they actually temporarily hurt the value of the cards. So if you were ever waiting on a Tim Duncan playing days autograph, you might get a chance here in the next couple months to pick one up cheaper because some people are going to be like listing them for sale thinking, oh, he's going to sign 1 million cards. It doesn't matter to me whether he signs 1 million cards now or not. The cards that he signed during his career that are important, like his finest autograph, where he's, in his finest moments where he's a champion, like that card to me will always be one of the Tim Duncan cards, even if he goes out and signs 1 million autographs, Jeremy, because those are post-playing days autographs. Now, having said that, if I'm a Duncan fan, I am thrilled because I saw the mock-ups that they did, like a silo Tim Duncan autograph is going to be freaking fantastic. I want to see it. It's going to be awesome. It's nothing but positive.
Post playing days doesn't bother me so much. Post pack pulled more, but post playing days, I'm not that bothered by cards like that, like Gretzky's and Orrs. Like to me, that stuff is great still. But what I don't like is the unlicensed, the street clothes kind of thing.
Yeah,
that's what I don't mind an unlicensed card if it's beautiful, if it's well designed and and the such, but street clothes just doesn't interest me.
So to that point, and you're right, to that point, as long as Panini has the license, those cards are going to be awesome. But the moment that Panini doesn't, and they enter the stage that Upper Deck's been in for a long time, it's a tough road to hoe, man. That's tough. That's really tough.
That's kind of Diamond Dogs. If you're still there, I want to thank Diamond Dogs for joining. Had a good time. That's pretty awesome. Nick Leach wants to know, is Luka Panini exclusive? Adam, do you know?
I think so. There really hasn't been a need to be for a long time because they've had the whole. I think so. I don't really know.
And then the last one. This is from about half an hour ago. Nick Leach said, "Will grading companies quit giving auto grades, especially PSA, because of their guarantees? Because so many fade in holders over time, it seems silly to pay premiums for 10 autos that may fade." I mean, that to me that extends more than just the auto grade. Yes, the auto grade is all of a sudden becomes moot. It becomes inaccurate. It just doesn't make any sense. But the card becomes to me much less attractive. But that's a separate thing altogether. It has really nothing to do with grading. Will they stop? Not as long as they can charge for it. I don't think they'll stop, Nick. I don't think they'll stop if they can charge for it and if people will pay for it. And right now, people are paying not only for the service, but premiums for cards with 10 autos. So it wouldn't be in their best business interest, in any grading company's best business interest, if they charge for it, to stop providing that service. And what happens after, it's after. And I bet that their guarantee, I would guess, I'd have to look, but I would bet that PSA's guarantee does not apply to auto grades, just the card grades and authenticity.
I was going to make two comments. The first thing that I was going to say is the last thing that you said. I believe I've heard the same, that the guarantee does not apply to autographs. And we can kind of see why in this situation, right? You can have a card that sits in a fairly normal place, but deteriorates because of light. And PSA is basically saying, I don't want to be on the hook for that. And
that's completely understandable.
Totally.
I support that.
Totally. So the other comment that I wanted to make real quick was, I sold a whole bunch of stuff to pay for my Kobe Logo Man autograph, and it's hard to sell all that stuff. One of the things I had to sell, so I had to sell a good portion of my Harry Potter autographs, and a bunch of them had 10 were PSA graded with 10 autos. Jeremy, I'm just gonna tell you, man, like people love 10 autographs. Like those cards sold. Some of them sold for 3 times what I assumed that they were going to. And it was all of the ones with the 10 autograph grades. So collectors really do care. Some of them do. I am not one of them. Some people really care about that 10 autograph grade. We're seeing it in how things are selling.
Yeah. People will pay for it. So PSA would be silly to stop offering the service.
I agree.
But as a consumer, I will never pay $1 a premium. I will never pay a dime for an auto grade ever. I will. My eyes are as good as anyone over there to assess not the authenticity of an auto, but the quality of an autograph.
For sure.
I mean, cards are different. Autographs, it's just right there. Like, how's the ink look? How's it laid down? Pretty simple right there.
Agreed.
Joe says, "On fuego, chat. Great job, guys. Thanks, Joe. Always happy to see you." Professor says that Brent shared on a recent interview with DPZ how his Portland Trailblazers knowledge has led some diamond in the rough card opportunities. Yeah, that's how it goes, right? The more you talk, the more people listen, really, and then know that you're looking for something. CC says some cards are like fading auto grades. Example, greening of some chrome cards. Yeah, that's another thing that can happen to a card that's in the slab. Joe says, are we still considering 98 and 99 Michael Jordan autos playing days? Good night. Great show. Thanks for sharing the knowledge. Thank you, Joe. Thank you. And Nick Leach agrees on, I think, the autograph take. So, all right, Adam, that's it for the comments. Thank you again, everybody, for joining. Congratulations to the new owners of cards. Congratulations to the sellers, including myself. With that, this episode of the PWCC Premier Auction Watch Party, auction ending watch party for October 2023 is now over.